Hello, y'all. I am back again for another video. And so, this video, I am going to start out by talking about the dynamics of love. And a lot of times, we're searching of what love is, what it should feel like. And it's just this simple, y'all. I'm going to break it down really clearly. I have a lot of experience with many things, domestic violence being one of them, right? Being the victim of it. And it's just this simple. Anyone that attempts to overpower you and take a unnatural power and control over you, this is not someone that loves you. It could be something as simple as you lay your key or your keys on your dining room table, and this person runs off with your keys, texts you later, takes your keys while you're asleep, y'all, and they don't love you. They just don't love you. It's just as simple as that. So I'm very careful of responding to language. You can feel when somebody love you, y'all. You can feel it. It's something you can feel too, but you should not just be basing love on how you feel. You should base it on being more realistic. So I'm going to play this video, and also fair use, y'all. This video will be put down in the description box. So within 5 to 15 minutes of this live ending, you will have access to this video in the description box. Normally right away within 5 minutes, but sometimes YouTube has to update the video that I've edited. So I'm going to play this video, and this video is a short, and like I said, I will put it down in the description box. And it's talking about this father is going to be speaking about his son's girlfriend and expressing why he did not like her. He's going to use the word hate, but don't take it so personal. Hello, the God Groot. Thank you so much for tuning in to the live. So this video is going to be very interesting. So the thing with my videos, I kind of do it like a radio show, kind of like back in the day where you couldn't see the person's face. However, to the God Groot, am I pronouncing it right? The God Groot. So one of the benefits of coming in on the live is that I usually when I'm doing a reaction on something, when you go down in the description below, you can see the video that I did the reaction to. So also when you come into these lives, I'm referencing you to other videos that hello Jess Long, hello, welcome to the live. And then to the God Groot, welcome to the live as well. So thank you so much. So this video is going to be about this I love you stuff, y'all. We got to understand truly what this means. So I'm going to start with this video, okay? And I'm going to be doing a reaction to it. Now, basically, to sum it up, this video, a dad is going to be, he has a heavy accent, but it's a very nice accent. And he's going to be talking about his son's girlfriend that was very disrespectful to his mother at dinner. So this father, oh, thank you to the God Groot. I hope you had a good day as well. Yeah, just tune into the live later. You can always come back and watch it later. It's no problem. Hello, Alice. Heracles. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Let me see. I got to read it better. Alice Henricus. And then Dyfa says, hello, are you a Christian? I love the Lord. And yes, I was saved and baptized many years ago as a Christian. And then later I took my Shahada later, and I became a Muslim. So I guess you could say I'm like Chrislam, right? So yeah, but I don't focus so much. I love Christianity and Islam and all religions that are not worshiping the devil. So yes, I do love the Lord. Die Faust. Hamdulillah. Okay, hamdulillah to you as well. So okay, so hold on one second because I'm trying to get thank you so much for the like, y'all. Yeah, I speak English. So I'm so sorry, Alice. Henriquez or Henriquez. I speak English. So I'm not sure if YouTube can translate that or whatever. So this video is it's going to be a lot about love, right? So in the manipulation of it. So I'm first going to start this. Um let me see. So who's worshiping a creature? So let me see. Difos says that someone, since the propagate is worshiping a creature. What? Are you calling Jesus a creature? Because you said someone's worshiping a creature and you put Jesus in parentheses. I hope you're not calling Jesus a creature. Are you trying to call Jesus a creature? Difos? Oh no. Okay, so this ain't what this video is about. Let me stay on focus. So because I want to teach you more about love, right? So as I stated in the beginning of the video, yeah, thank you, Brandon Vasquez. I hope he I hope Jesus ain't no creature neither. I know Jesus ain't a creature. People be tripping. People are set in a lot of misery, Brandon. And that's what misery does. It makes you type stuff like that, right? And we don't want to play into it. Yeah, we don't want to play into it. Because the person typing that probably way more of a creature than Jesus is. See, a person that thinks Jesus is a creature is not focusing enough on themselves. So what that guy should do, and he named his YouTube channel Die Faust. So he should go look in the mirror and see what he really sees. And he'll be surprised. Somebody that's calling Jesus a creature probably ain't even attractive. You know, they got plastic surgeons. If you don't like the way you look, go fix it, Die Faust. Instead of getting out here calling Jesus a creature. Stop eating all the donuts. You'll look better too. Okay, put them donuts away. Put that alcohol away. He got to be high out of his mind. And then gonna put Jesus' name in parentheses. Whew. The devil know he be busy. And she busy too. Let's call the devil a him and a her in this case. Talking about Jesus a creature. So anyway, so going back to the reaction, and thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for the like. This gentleman, he hated his son's girlfriend because of the despicable nature she had. So I'm going to play this video right now, y'all.
why I hated my son Junior's girlfriend. And believe me, the reason will shock you. One day, after my most important training session, I came home. I was tired but focused. Then I saw something strange. Junior was sitting quietly, upset, silent. I sat beside him. I asked, "Son, what happened? Why do you look so sad?" He whispered, "Dad, I wanted to go to Dubai with my girlfriend, but Mom said no." I could see the pain in his eyes. He really wanted this trip, and I thought, I worked so hard. I built this empire not only for myself, but so my children can live freely. So I went to Georgina. I said, "I know you care, but please let him go. Let him enjoy life. That's why I worked so hard." After a pause, Georgina agreed. She smiled and said, "Okay, let him go." Before the trip, Junior's girlfriend came to our home. Georgina welcomed her. She even cooked dinner with love and respect. That night, we all sat down. My mother was there too, as always. She sat beside me. My mom, my strength, the woman who gave me everything. But then something happened. Something I will never forget. Junior's girlfriend looked at my mom and said with a mocking smile, "Does she always eat here? Honestly, seeing her kills my mood. I don't want to eat if she's here." I froze. My blood boiled. How dare she insult my mother? At that moment, I canceled the Dubai trip. I told Junior firmly, no trip. Not now, not with her. The next day, Junior disappeared. Not in his room, not in the gym, not even at the airport. Worried, I told Georgina everything. Together, we searched for him. Finally, we found him, sitting alone on a bench, looking sad but calm. I asked, "Junior, why are you here?" He looked at me with tears and said, "Dad, I broke up with her. Last night, she disrespected Grandma. And if she cannot respect the woman you love the most, then she doesn't deserve me. I don't want a girlfriend who insults my family." In that moment, I felt proud, not just as a father, but as a man. I hugged him tight and I said, "You did the right thing, son." Instead of Dubai, we went on a family trip together. No stress, no drama, only love. And that trip became one of the happiest memories of our lives. So yes, this is why I hated my son's girlfriend. If you think Junior made the right choice, comment, "Good job, Junior."
And also, okay, so that video, he's expressing why he hated his son's girlfriend, right? And it's because when they invited her over.
Watch what milk does to your eyes.
Oh no, the commercials, y'all. I'm so sorry. I should have cut the volume down. I don't know what milk does to your eyes. Let's see what it does.
It's the eye of a 76-year-old woman who nearly lost her vision for good. Her secret? Adding one unusual ingredient to a glass of warm water before bed. I'm not sure if this might interest you, but if you or someone you love is long or short-sighted, struggling with blurry vision, floaters, or living with cataracts, macular degeneration.
Yeah, for this to improve your eyesight, you would have to go to vitality55plus.com. And I'll put that in the description box as well, okay, below. So, because you never know, somebody might be on here that needs to improve their eyesight. I know I do. I need a better set of glasses. But this is Vitality, Vitality, 55plus.com. And I'll just put that in the description box as fair use here. And YouTube's advertising it, so it looks like it might help somebody's eyesight. So yeah, so I'll put it right in the description box. So make the commercials beneficial, okay? So in that video that I just played, and I'll play it again, I always will play the short more than once. And so he hates his son's girlfriend, right? And he don't mean it literally, but in this case, he has a right to use the word because the son's girlfriend was disrespecting his mother, okay? So they invite her over for dinner, and it's part of elderly abuse. I just did a live over the past few days, and I named it elderly abuse. So look under my lives, and I discussed some of what elderly abuse is. So in my opinion, what this girlfriend did, she tried to take a certain power and control. She probably could sense that the grandmother and the dad's mother is like a protector. She probably could even feel that the mother and grandmother of her boyfriend would see through her. The grandmother's probably an aware empath. The grandmother never had a history. My assumption, she did not have a history in the family of being someone that was a bad lady. She's a very nurturing lady. And just out of the blue, this gentleman's son girlfriend, the gentleman that was talking, that's telling the story, his son girlfriend came over to dinner and started insulting his mother, which would have been his son's grandmother. Okay. So started insulting her for no reason, saying that she don't like her being there. It puts her in a bad mood because she don't like that the lady's old too. The lady's up in age and has grown older. Probably grown to an age that that young lady may not even make it to. Talking like that. Just think about it. You go to somebody's house, it's your boyfriend, and the whole family's there, and you say out loud, she said it out loud, that the old lady being there in so many words, that the lady being there puts her in a bad mood and she don't like it. Say if everybody in the family would have got up and started jumping on her, stumping her out, putting hands and feet on her for saying that. Luckily, she was in a family where they're not ignorant like that. So they handled her the appropriate way. Okay? So they handled her the law-abiding way, the godly way, the right way. They didn't handle her through violence. She never got physical. I don't think they could have handled it if she would have went and hit grandma. I think that would have triggered a violent episode. I really do. I think that they love grandma enough that somebody would have she would have got her ass kicked if she would have hit grandma. So I'm just gonna refresh what was being said. So his son name was Junior, and she had a girlfriend, okay? Or he had a girlfriend. So I'm just gonna recap and tell you what he was saying. So this man, his son Junior, had a girlfriend. And he basically explained that the reason that he didn't like his son girlfriend is going to shock you. Thank you so much for the 2 people that just tuned in. Please click a like, please. This video that I'm reacting to will be in the description box below, okay? So the father saw something strange in his son because basically his son wanted to go to Dubai with his girlfriend, and his son was silent about it. So he basically talked his wife or mother of his son into letting the son go because his son Junior wanted to go to Dubai. And so the dad said, you know, I worked too hard for Junior not to be able to go to Dubai with his girlfriend. I work and I want my son Junior to enjoy the money I make. So let him go with his girlfriend, is what the dad did. Because he could see the pain in his son's eyes. He really could. Sounds like a bunch of aware empaths. That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, and he wants his sons and his family to be able to live freely and enjoy the money that he worked so hard for. And so the girlfriend, they invited her over for dinner. And they all sat down to eat dinner. And Junior's grandmother and Junior's mother was there, okay? And she looks like a little sweet elder, you know, real sweet lady just sitting at the table, minding her business. No drama. This is a lady that is like no drama to the family, like one of those traditional grandmas that just sit there, mind her business, real sweet. She's dressed real modest. She's not a big mouth, none of that. Just real sweet elder, y'all. And Junior's dad expresses that this woman, which is his mom, has given him everything. So this has been a dedicated woman of morality, just a good lady. Ain't one of those ladies where you can't say a bad thing about her, okay? And then something happened at dinner, is what the father's saying. I'm just recapping this video I played. And like I said, when this live is over, I'm gonna put it in the description below. Okay. So the girlfriend starts mocking with this little weird looking smile on her face. And she says, honestly, seeing her kills my mood, talking about the grandmother and the mother. So this would be Junior's grandmother. So she's saying that this elder kills her mood. This is part of elderly abuse too. Remember, I did a video. I did a live several days ago about elderly abuse. Go watch that video. You know what? Actually, I am going to go find that live and put it in the description box on this video. So since I'm referencing to that, you don't have to go find it. I'll find it for you. So elderly abuse video, I'm going to put that in the description. Okay, it will be in the description below. So you don't have to go find that live. I'll put it here for you. So this is how this crazy chick is talking. Like, I don't know what gives her a right to go to their house and start talking about mom and grandma like that. This this girl, she could have got herself killed. Luckily, she ain't in that type of family. These people got money and they got a lot to lose. Okay. So Junior's girlfriend looked at her mom and mocking her with a smile and says, honestly, seeing her kills my mood. This is how she's talking about this little sweet lady. This is horrible. So the father, his blood boiled. Like, I dare her insult his mother like that. The woman that's done everything for him. And in that moment, he canceled the Dubai trip. So they were going to go to Dubai. Okay. And so he canceled the trip. This is what you do. Don't jump on the person. Don't go beat him up. I don't truly believe with the love he had for his mom. I think the worst thing that girl could have did was go over there and hit the grandmother or mother. But she knew better. She just ran her mouth. Talking about the older lady's ruining her mood. She didn't call her an old lady, but she's picking on her. This is part of elderly abuse. I mean, on the video, they got her in a tank top with her breasts hanging out with some jean shorts on, you know, looking like one of them diva chicks. She's not dressed modestly, basically. The girlfriend is not, but the mother is. You know, she probably judges the grandmother and mother for being such a traditional moral woman. You know, women that don't have morals will hate those kind of women. Because grandma not presenting herself like a little hoe, right? Grandma probably ain't never went outside dressed like this with no tank top with her titties hanging out. This grandma ain't like that. She probably wouldn't even dress like this at the swimming pool. I mean, they got a moral, traditional woman here. Okay? Fair use, y'all. This is part of elderly abuse. This is why I did that live as well. So Junior ends up disappearing, which is the son. They didn't know where he went off to. They were worried about him. So they found him sitting outside looking sad, and he broke up with the girlfriend. He said, I'm not going to be with a girl that disrespects grandma like that. And if she can't respect the woman you love the most, Dad, I'm not going to be with a girlfriend that insults my family this way. So Junior got rid of this hood rat chick. Okay? Because I don't care how much money Junior girlfriend had to even talk to him that way, or go to his grandma's house and talk like that about his grandmother and his father's mother. That's a hood rat chick. She ain't black. She not black, but she's still a hood rat. You ain't got to be black to be a hood rat. A hood rat is a woman of any race that goes and come up in your mama house, in your daddy house, in your family house, and just pick a elderly lady that's been a great support and the love of the family and just start talking about her, talking about the lady put her in a bad mood. Well, bitch, get out of here then. Get your motherfucking ass out of here. If my mom or grandma puts your funky ass in a bad mood, get to stepping. Get your ass up out of here. But they didn't handle it like that. Okay, this ain't a Black American family, so no fight broke out. This is also not a white American family. They are not white and they are not, so no fight broke out. And there's no violence and no police had to come because they're not Black Americans and they're not white Americans. Okay, so what I'm going to do is play this video one more time. So I want you to hear. So I'm just kind of explaining it because he has such a deep, beautiful accent that I wanted to kind of point out what was happening. So basically his son brought this hood rat chick to the house, and she started talking about grandma because grandma old, talking about the lady put her in a bad mood. What a horrible girl to do that. And then was dressed all inappropriately. They show it on the video. I'll put it in the description box, y'all.
Why I hated my son Junior's girlfriend, and believe me, the reason will shock you. One day, after my most important training session, I came home. I was tired but focused. Then I saw something strange. Junior was sitting quietly, upset, silent. I sat beside him. I asked, "Son, what happened? Why do you look so sad?" He whispered, "Dad, I wanted to go to Dubai with my girlfriend, but Mom said no." I could see the pain in his eyes. He really wanted this trip, and I thought, I worked so hard. I built this empire not only for myself, but so my children can live freely. So I went to Georgina. I said, "I know you care, but please let him go. Let him enjoy life. That's why I worked so hard." After a pause, Georgina agreed. She smiled and said, "Okay, let him go." Before the trip, Junior's girlfriend came to our home. Georgina welcomed her. She even cooked dinner with love and respect. That night, we all sat down. My mother was there too, as always. She sat beside me. My mom, my strength, the woman who gave me everything. But then something happened, something I will never forget. Junior's girlfriend looked at my mom and said with a mocking smile, "Does she always eat here? Honestly, seeing her kills my mood. I don't want to eat if she's here." I froze. My blood boiled. How dare she insult my mother? At that moment, I canceled the Dubai trip. I told Junior firmly, no trip, not now, not with her. The next day, Junior disappeared, not in his room, not in the gym, not even at the airport. Worried, I told Georgina everything. Together, we searched for him. Finally, we found him, sitting alone on a bench, looking sad but calm. I asked, "Junior, why are you here?" He looked at me with tears and said, "Dad, I broke up with her. Last night, she disrespected grandma. And if she cannot respect the woman you love the most, then she doesn't."
Amen. He broke up with her, y'all. That's so special. And you know what? Because he broke up with this hood rat chick, I love calling somebody a hood rat that ain't black, y'all. They are melanated. These are not white people, but these are not what we would call Black Americans. They're not Negroes and they're not Caucasians, but they are a melanated race. So I'm so proud of this young man, Junior, for getting this hood rat out of his life, right? And I'm glad Junior didn't get a case or a charge. He didn't get up and beat the crap out of this hood rat. But the reality is hood rats and low-level females and ladies and girls, they come in all races. And you know, and in this video, they didn't call her a hood rat, but they might be calling her that when they're not on the video. The dad might be saying that was a real trifling hood rat bitch. He might talk like that because it's not a white man, right? Even a white man might talk like that, you know, because people are up to date on profanity and language nowadays. But I'm so proud of Junior for getting this trifling whore out of their family. Because see, when he broke up with her, he keeps that narcissism out of his family. See, this is not a family filled with narcissists, right? These are aware empaths and normals. This is not a narcissistic family. This is not a narcissist family. These are aware empaths, a very loyal, good woman, raised the family. She's invested a lot of time, put her family first. And this hood rat girlfriend that Junior had just came over and started talking shit. And it's part of elderly abuse. And remember, I'm going to put that video in the description box because I did a live about it, y'all, several days ago. So this is part of elderly abuse, what this lady's doing. So I just wanted to stop and clap and say I'm very proud of Junior, even though I don't personally know him. I think as a young male, he doesn't have to be a black male or a white male for me to be proud of him. That's a very good choice that he made, because in turn, if he had not have made that choice, Dad wasn't going to be real happy with him. Junior had a lot to lose by choosing a trifling hood rat that had no respect for his grandmother. He had a lot to lose. Prominent family here. Okay, you will recognize him. When you see the video, you will recognize this gentleman. And so, Georgina Talks, YouTube produced the video, and it's a very excellent video, fair use. So I'm going to finish playing it right now.
Junior, why are you here? He looked at me with tears and said, Dad, I broke up with her. Last night she disrespected Grandma, and if she cannot respect the woman you love the most, then she doesn't deserve me. I don't want a girlfriend who insults my family. In that moment, I felt proud, not just as a father, but as a man. I hugged him tight and I said, you did the right thing, son. Instead of Dubai, we went on a family trip together. No stress, no drama, only love. And that trip became one of the happiest memories of our lives. So yes, this is why I hated my son's girlfriend. If you think Junior made the right choice, comment. Good job, Junior. Why I hated my son Junior's girlfriend. And
I absolutely know Junior made the right choice. I was clapping for him. Okay, so that's a good choice. So he didn't fall for the I love yous. Okay, so that was a video. I came up with the video idea just thinking about the I love you stuff, right? And so we don't know how she hoovered, because I know when Junior broke up with her, she's tried to hoover. What are you doing? I love you. That's usually what those type of people will do. So I want to go over some materials with you on I love you. And I'm going to read to you what this is saying. And in certain areas where I disagree, I'm going to point it out. So, okay, so tune in here. While it can feel confusing and devastating to hear I love you from a narcissist, the meaning behind the phrase is fundamentally different for them. Remember, when someone's a narcissist and they are saying I love you, it's not how me and you say it. Okay, love is much, much more than just a feeling. A lot of times the narcissist is not even feeling it from their soul. A lot of times when a narcissist says I love you, it don't even sound right. It'll sound dry. It sounds forced. It sounds like something they really don't even want to be saying to you. So for a narcissist, saying I love you is a manipulative tactic used to secure control, reinforce their ego, and maintain access to what is called narcissistic supply: admiration, attention, and validation. Now, a lot of times when someone's doing it with me, they're trying to recover from wrongdoing or something that I've noticed them do that's a form of disrespectful towards me or breaking boundaries. So a person wants to like wash out what they did, which doesn't fix future problems, right? So if you knock over all my dishes yesterday and you do it right in front of me, you just take my dishes, knock them on the floor, and they break. Nobody's done this to me, but I'm just giving you an example. And I say, look, you broke my dishes on purpose. And then they gaslight you and say they didn't. They had a right to do it because they eat on the dishes too. All this gaslighting. But you're like, look, don't do that again. So Even if they apologize, someone could apologize to me for doing that, but still justify why they did it. Didn't you see I hit him? You shouldn't have put him on the edge of the counter. This all can go down over some dishes or bigger things. Someone breaking your dishes on purpose is a big deal. It's not just materialistic items, because it's also a sign of what they're going to be doing to your physical body. So then the next day, the narcissist starts saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. They want to wash out your memory of them knocking your dishes over on purpose. They did it on purpose. In this example, they did it on purpose. They might have even told you a few days before they did it, you know what, bitch, I'm gonna knock your dishes over, bitch. You know what, nigga, I'm gonna break your shit, nigga. They might have even talked to you like that. So in turn, they did it right in front of you, but there's no fixing of the problem. The only way they fix it is by gaslighting you and telling you they love you over and over, whether they do it over the phone or in person. It's a lie. They ain't even went and bought you some more dishes to replace what they broke, because they're telling you that material things don't matter. You know, those are just material things. They don't matter. So that's a narcissist. The narcissist broke your dishes. So for a narcissist, I'm going to read this one more time. For a narcissist, saying I love you is a manipulative tactic used to secure control, reinforce their ego, and maintain access to what is called narcissistic supply, which is admiration, attention, and validation. And sometimes their supply is just making you miserable. Just knowing that those were your favorite dishes that your family left you, just knowing that you like eating off of those dishes. A lot of times they're not looking for admiration. They know you're not going to admire them after they break your dishes right in front of your face. The narcissist knows that. So much of the time, the narcissist is not looking for admiration. I would say when they break your dishes, they want attention. They know you're not validating them neither. A narcissist is not always looking for validation and admiration, because a lot of times we're going to constantly show a narcissist that we are not validating them. Okay, so here's what I love you means to a narcissist. It is a transactional statement. Unlike healthy love, which is selfless, and I'm just going to point this out. Healthy love is not selfless, y'all. Selfless means you are not looking out for you. That ain't healthy. That's domestic violence love. Domestic violence love is selfless, because you love your abuser more than you love yourself. So I do not agree with love being selfless. Love should not be selfless, because if it is selfless, it's gonna become dangerous. Okay, so that is a delusion that you will read in materials in the United States. You will read that often, and it's dangerous. Okay, it keeps hospitals. Selfless love keeps hospitals filled up, therapy office filled up, and it keeps the mortuaries and funeral homes in business. Selfless love is dangerous. So because they teach this, it keeps all these businesses open. Okay? Hospitals, therapists, mortuaries, and cemeteries. That's what selfless love gets you. It gets you dead, okay, or seriously injured. Jails and prisons too. Selfless love keeps the incarceration rate high and keeps the jails and prisons full, because somebody gonna pop off and beat somebody's ass, or one of these victims that love in a selfless way, not looking out for themselves, gonna get themselves killed or hurt. That's what's gonna happen. So I don't agree with that. Oh, Brantley Harden, thank you so much. You are gonna love this live. I'm glad you're back. I'm talking about love, and I did a reaction. So I'm gonna put the videos in the description box. I went over elderly abuse, To sum it up, I just went over this video with this gentleman, his girlfriend. Did you see my playlist about you? No, I haven't, but I'll check it today. I will check it today, okay? Let me write that down right now. Because yesterday I kind of I ended up taking a nap. So let me okay, Brantley Harden, can you type your handler name like when it says at, like when I go to your YouTube channel, will it say at the email looking thing underscore some? Do you have that right there with you? So it's easier for me to locate. Because see, with Daniels and Emo Boy, I had their handler name. So when you go to one of your videos, Brantley Harden, it will have your handler's name. It just won't say Brantley Harden. It will have the at sign and some other stuff. Okay. So it's going to be at. So yours is actually your name, at Brantley Harden. So you're sure that's what it is? It's just like your name? I'll look it up in just a second. But yeah, I'm going to go to that playlist. And because you did that, I'm going to create a playlist about you, okay? Because remember what I left off telling you, Brantley Harden, was that I was going to, okay, so it's no space. Okay, thank you for that. I was going to tell you that I was going to look at your videos, right? And I mean that, and I had promised Emo Boy that I would leave comments on his stuff, and I put him first in that instance because I've been communicating with him longer. But that does not mean I'm ignoring you, Brantley. So I do stick to my promises. I just wrote it down to go to your what's the name of your playlist that you created? Give me the name of your playlist so I can search it by the playlist as well, Brantley. And thank you so much for coming back as well. So Brantley, you're probably checking it now. So the name of your playlist that you created, what did you name the playlist? So whenever you can, just type that in there. And what I'm doing is doing a screenshot of it. Okay. Okay, and thank you so much for coming back. So when I get off this live, I'll be taking care of that. So, and thank you so much for reminding me as well. Reminding me is a good thing because I'll actually do what I said I'm going to do. Okay. Oh, it kicked you out of here, it did? Okay, so what I was asking Brantley Harden was what's the name of the playlist that you created so that when I look up, when I find you, when I get off this live, I want to be able to make sure I find you. So I don't want to get off this live and can't locate you. Does that make sense? So what is your what's the name of the playlist that you created about me? Because see, I can search up the name of that playlist as well. Because I want to make sure that I find you. Okay. That's what I want to make sure of. So I want to have a couple of ways to locate you, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, y'all. Yesterday, which was Saturday, October 4th, 2025, I had a very educational live. And I was happy with my views. I almost got 100 views. And Emo Boy, Brantley Harden, these two young gentlemen, very intelligent guys, they helped me and I helped them. And so we were going over how to create these playlists. And I'm very supportive of young, middle-aged, and old people's channels. Okay, it doesn't matter. If someone wants to support me and they're respecting me, I'm going to support them. So we had a very good live about this yesterday. Go watch that live. I did it yesterday, and it was almost a 3-hour live. You may learn something from it. Okay, so it's called Everybody Watch This ASAP. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So that means, because just so you know, Brantley Harden, this is something else I've learned too. When I type that in, that playlist is going to come up, especially if you made it public. Go in and double check and make sure that the playlist does not say private. Please double check that on your channel, because if it does say private, I won't be able to search it. So double check that for me right now if you can, young man. I appreciate you checking, young man. I have some of the best teenagers and young people. It's public. Good. Okay. So that means I'll be able to find it. Because what I don't want to do is get off here and I don't have the information to find you and you think I'm playing games with you. And that's not how I am. Okay. And thank you so much for subscribing to Daniel's channel. He's very grateful. Daniel went to church today. Daniel's been saved and baptized and is filled with the Holy Spirit. And my son Daniel is very resilient, and he's very grateful for you and Emo Boy, Brantley Harden. Daniel, my son, is very grateful for you and Emo Boy, because y'all are like my YouTube sons now. I got Brantley Harden. I just added on another YouTube son. Brantley Harden and Emo Boy are my 2 YouTube sons, but I have a biological son, Daniel. And so Brantley Harden and Emo Boy, they're both YouTubers with growing channels, y'all. Yes, you're my YouTube son. So you're my second YouTube son. Because I made my first YouTube son yesterday, Emo Boy. But remember, I interacted with Emo Boy for a while. Okay. And I've interacted with you for a while, but I started interacting with great job, Brantley Harden. I'm so proud of you. And I'm going to tell you this. I had about 80 subscribers right here on this channel. This is why I tell y'all, don't give up on your channels. For at least, I think, about a year and a half, 2 years, half of my YouTube history with this channel, I had 80 to 100 subscribers. Now look at my subscriber count. I'm almost at, what am I at? It's 700 and, I don't know, what am I at? 716 subscribers. And I stayed at like 680 subscribers for a long time. But when I started doing my lives, I got a few more subscribers. So yeah, keep up the great work with your subscribers. Brantley Harden, the advice I'm going to give you is that make sure you focus on views as well. Oh, I have 717. So that means somebody subscribed to my channel during this live. Sometimes I'll get 1 to 2 subscribers in a live. So thank you so much for whomever subscribed. So that means I got a subscriber from this live, because before this live, I had 716 subscribers. So if I have 717, that's because somebody subscribed during this live, because I've been on this live almost an hour. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for giving me the information. So before the day is over, I will be going to your channel. I will do the same thing I did for Emo Boy yesterday. I promised Emo Boy that I would go to his channel. And so I stick to my promises. Okay. And thank you so much for starting the playlist. See, as small YouTubers, we have to support one another so our channels grow. And we want to get along with each other in what we call these YouTube streets. You know, like Ringo TV always says, this is YouTube streets. So in the YouTube streets, I want to have a team, and you want to have a team. And being jealous of one another and not helping one another won't be beneficial to us. So we want to be in these YouTube streets on a good note with other people. And see, I like to support young people because by the time you my age, you could have 20,000 subscribers or 500,000, however many you want. But remember, don't just focus on subscribers, focus on views. Okay? You want to focus on views because subscribers mean nothing if nobody watches the video. So check those views, and I had to learn to focus on that. And as long as I saw my views going up, and I will once I get to your channel, Brantley, I'll put some coaching things in there that, because see, I haven't seen your channel yet, so you can consider me like a coach or whatever to y'all, teacher slash coach or whatever. So I'm going to probably point out your total views. You know how to find your total views, right? When you go to your channel. Oh, so you did a live. You were able to do a live? So that means you're monetized. Brantley Harden. Oh, that's excellent. 517 views. How much is your total views on your channel? I love doing lives because it's all about what the Lord wants you to talk about, right? The Lord kind of dictates. Okay, so the way you check that, I'm going to tell you how to check that. So what you would do is go to your channel. Because remember, I taught y'all how to do the playlist yesterday. Remember? So I'm getting ready to teach you something else. So you go to your channel. Hold on, I'm going to tell you how to check your views. Okay, you have 88 subscribers. I found you here. Okay, so when you go to your channel on YouTube, so go to your channel, Brantley, because I want to teach you how to find your total views. So you can Google yourself as well. You can not Google, look you up on YouTube. So I typed Brantley Harden and you came right up. So I click on that. Okay, so right where it says proxy at the top, it says more about this channel. Right under where it tells you how many subscribers you have. Okay, and I just subscribed from one of Daniel's YouTube channels as well. So you should have 89 subscribers now, okay? Because I'm using a device with Daniel's account. So where it says more about this channel. So do you see where it says how many subscribers you have, Brandon? Do you see that? I mean, Brantley Harden. Do you see that, Brantley? So where it says 88 subscribers and 89 videos, okay, where it says that, it's going to say more about this channel. Click more. And then it's going to show that you have 23,978 views. Do you see that? You have 23,978 views. And you should have 89 subscribers now. It may take 5 minutes. It may take 5 to 15 minutes to update that I subscribed. And when I get off of this device, I'll subscribe too. And that way you'll have 90 subscribers. And then we're actually going to view your videos. Okay. And you did a live. Oh, great. So that means you're monetized. You're monetized because you can do lives. Monetize means you have a YouTube payment coming, right? You're monetized because you can do lives. Oh, okay. Did you start doing lives because I told you to check it out to see it? No, you actually did it 3 days ago. So you already knew you could do lives. So you got to go to an actual computer because YouTube will not let you monetize your channel until you go to a laptop or an actual computer. You cannot monetize your channel from a tablet, iPad, or phone. Okay, so you cannot monetize it. So you're monetized, Brantley Harden. So congratulations. So now I can start going to your lives. So now since I'm subscribed to you, it's going to give me a notification of when you're doing your lives now. Okay, so I can go to your lives just like you're at mine. So congratulations. But we both got to get our YouTube money. I mean, you might have already got yours. So, oh, you got a lot of shorts you've uploaded. Yeah, your channel looks nice. I love your colors. Let me see. You got videos, you got shorts, and lives. Okay. Okay, yeah. So with that, go to like the Urban League or the Small Business Administration. Okay, it's called the SBA in your state. And they will do sometimes consultations for free. I don't know how to get my YouTube money as well. So I am in no place to judge. I'm in the same predicament. But this gentleman, this African man that I met at the Urban League, he gave me his card and he told me I can come to him and he'll help me for a low cost. I think a lot of his help is even free potentially because I think the Urban League covers the payment, part of the payment. I don't think he mentioned not charging me. He didn't mention exactly how much he would charge me. So either I would pay a small fee for him to help get me monetized. I met this gentleman, this African gentleman at the Urban League. I went to a book launch over a year ago and met this African man. And yes, I'm a procrastinator. I should have been called that man, but I be so busy, y'all. But that is something I'm going to be doing. So contact the Small Business Administration. Look up YouTube Coaches Brantley. And yeah, no problem. Take your time. But yeah, I'll be commenting on your stuff and stuff like that. And you're my second YouTube son. Okay. Yeah, so congratulations. And I found your channel really easy. So thank you for reminding me and coming back in here. And thank you so much for the likes. So, okay, so yeah, I'm gonna get back on this subject here. Hold on. That's the thing about a live, y'all. I mean, I allow the Lord to lead us where the Lord wants us to go, right? And so I apologize for that. So I was talking about love. So I'm just gonna start it all over again and read it again since it kind of I had to talk to Brantley. Thank you so much, Brantley Harden, for coming back. So, okay, in narcissistic relationships, I love you is often used as a manipulative tool rather than a genuine expression of affection. For a person with narcissistic personality disorder, love is transactional and conditional, serving their own needs for validation and control. The words themselves are used to create an intense emotional bond, secure a source of ego-boosting supply, and keep a partner trapped in a cycle of abuse. And somebody can have you trapped or be trying to ensnare you in a cycle of abuse and not be a romantic partner. Anyone can do this to you. Your neighbor, a school friend, somebody at the community center, somebody at your college, a coworker, someone that you do business with, a business co-partner. Anyone can do this to you. It does not have to be just somebody that is a romantic partner. They don't have to be your husband and wife. There's no age for this too. Somebody can do this to you and you 14 years old. Okay, you ain't got to be 45 to be victimized, okay? So the problem with this is it says transactional and conditional. For unaware empaths, they're not transactional enough. They give way too much without receiving. And y'all know on this channel, I don't do that mess. What did I tell y'all yesterday? I was talking to Brantley Harden and Emo Boy, and I was very direct. I'm going to create a playlist. I'm going to support you. I need you to support my family too. See, but I've already been abused by narcissists. So I don't do that. I'm going to give you my soul and you give me a penny back. However, the benefit of me doing it, if I'm transactional in some way, it's going to be much different than a narcissist because I'm able to genuinely care about you too. And care about you from my soul, the good part of my soul. So that is the benefit. See, when empaths, when we're kind of like, it's not really transactional, it's reciprocal. So let's call it that. It's not a transaction, but I'll be serious about what I say. I don't present myself as somebody like, yeah, I'll create all the playlists for you and you do nothing for me. I'm very direct and upfront. Now, I'm going to do a playlist for you, but I need you to do one for me too. Because some people I've learned don't know how to automatically do that. And see, when I'm dealing with young men and young boys and girls, I'm their elder. So like when Brantley Harden and Emo Boy come here and my son Daniel, I'm their elder. So I feel like it's part of my job to teach them to be reciprocal in business. One of these boys could end up being a millionaire. I got to teach them business. Ain't nobody going to want to do business with you and you just a burden. People like to do business with people that they benefiting from too. Both people should benefit. If only one person is benefiting, that's a very narcissistic, unhealthy, miserable relationship, even in a business world. So yeah, so basically this transactional and conditional stuff, empaths need to do more of that too. They won't be getting beat down and used. Because a narcissist knows it's got to be transactional and conditional, but empaths don't, and that's how they get got. So go to my live yesterday when you get time, and it was October 4th was that live, and I'm showing you what empathy or empathic reciprocation is. Yeah, I'm supporting Brandon Harden and Brantley Harden. I'm supporting Brantley Harden, and I'm supporting Emo Boy. But I also asked them to support my son Daniel. What's wrong with that? Nothing wrong with that. I don't have to support people and don't get supported in return. That's a good way to run off a narcissist too. Just say hypothetically, if Emo Boy and Brantley Harden were narcissists, I don't feel they're narcissists. But even if they were, I don't care if they were narcissists. I'm not going to feed their narcissism and teach them that they don't have to support others and they're just supposed to receive support. I'm not going to teach Daniel that, and I'm not going to guide Brantley Harden, my YouTube son number 2, or Emo Boy, my YouTube son number 1. I'm not going to guide them in that unrealistic, delusional way of thinking, because they'll get got. The rest of the world is going to want them to reciprocate. They're not going to get nothing in life if they don't give something back. I know that for a fact. You have to give back. You have to pay it forward. So in this part that is said, for a person with narcissistic personality disorder, love is transactional and conditional. And if you are empath, you will stop getting got by these people and victimized if you're more reciprocal. So as an empath, I don't want to just be transactional or conditional. I want to be reciprocal. I want my love and care reciprocated. I'm doing something for you, you doing something for me. And it's not every single moment. It's not tit for tat. Reciprocation should not be tit for tat. Every time I do something for Brantley Harden or Emo Boy or my son Daniel or Isaiah, I should not be asking for reciprocation on every single thing. Reciprocation is not a tit for tat. It's just overall, if I'm willing to do 10 things for you, why can't you do 2 things for me? What is wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just bought you a car and a house, and you can't buy me a cup of coffee? Come on now. You can't let nobody play you like that. That's not no gangsterism at all. Sure ain't. You're not a good empathetic gangster. You gonna get got thinking like that. And thinking like that you just supposed to give and never get nothing back. You're gonna live a miserable life because it's gonna be a lot of narcissists and narcissistic people and low thinking psychopaths that are gonna really take advantage of you. So that's my theory. You don't want to be so much transactional, but you do want to be reciprocal because you're an empath. As an aware empath, I'm not so much transactional because I can do a million things for a person and not get none back to 10 years. But I'm not doing that no more with nobody. Okay. So you want to change that because you will get got and abused. And some people will kick your ass too. When people know that you too much of a giver, and the way you'll get your ass kicked is one of these times you say no to their freaking ass. And see, you've conditioned this person that you always say yes. So you've been loaning this person money, donating to them, giving them money. Then one day you say no and they knock your ass on the ground. See, because now you've created a spoiled ass brat. And now they want to whoop off in your ass because it's entitled to think it could get whatever the fuck it wants from you. And sometimes they won't kick your ass. They just won't talk to you. You tell them no one time and you like, I thought this was my son, daughter, niece, nephew, cousin, best friend. I thought this person really loved me. No, they love what you was doing for them. That's all they love. They don't love you. So anyway, okay, so I read that. So I gave you my theory on that. So the next part of this says, I love you as part of love bombing. You know, love bombing, that's that term used where they're trying to make you believe that they good and that they love you. Oftentimes, most people are not love bombed. And just them saying they love you is not really full of romance and full of love bombing. They're not really buying you any expensive items and stuff like that. But part of love bombing is the lie that they love you. So this says narcissists, and I'm not saying this article is saying it that I'm reading to you. So this is something I'm reading. I love you as part of love bombing. Narcissists often say I love you very early and intensely during the love bombing phase of a relationship. I'm going to point this out. They don't always do it very early. Somebody can do this to you 30 years later because they come back into your life. You could not have seen this person since they was a little kid or something, or a young man or woman, and they do this to you. They don't always do it right away because they don't know to do it right away. Okay. So they do it when they know to do it and when they think you are vulnerable enough and when they want some from you is when a person will do it. So it is a misconception that they're going to do it right away. So I'm saying that because remember, I'm basically doing commentary on this. Okay. So narcissists often say I love you very early and intensely during the love bombing phase of a relationship. I just said it can happen at any time. It can happen 25 years later. You could have thought this person was dead. And they pop up 25 years later telling you that they love you every day. Okay, in this stage, they overwhelm a new partner with affection, compliments, and gifts to create a powerful emotional dependency. And that's what they're doing. They I don't tell everybody that's telling me that they love me. I don't always say it back. See, we're trained. This ain't somebody at your church. The only time you should be acting like that is at church or the masjid. If a sister or brother say, I love you, in that environment, it's appropriate to say it back. But if you don't go to church or the mosque or masjid with this person, you do not have to say it back to everybody. You got to vet this person. This is what I do, y'all. Once you show me you behave like a narcissist, once you show me that, I go off how you treat your kids, how you treating me, how you treat conflict with me. When you show me, when you ask me, well, what did I do to disrespect you? And I clearly explain it, and you have no remorse and you justify your actions, I already know you're a narcissist. So I don't fall in love with narcissists anymore. So what I do, the narcissist knows they are incapable of fixing a problem with you. They're naturally miserable. So I don't say it back. But I also stay out of narcissist's face. I can do this. This is why I don't have to say it back. You don't know where the hell I live and we on the phone. So I don't have to say it back. Who said that you have to say I love you back every time somebody says it? This person is puppeting you. You're like a puppet on a string. I love you, Irene. I love you too. I love you, Irene. It's fake. It's not real. They don't love you. I mentioned in the beginning of this video, anyone that tries to take power and control over you, whether it be telling you what to do, taking control of you in areas where they have no right, your residence, your money, your vehicle, they're not asking, they just telling you, they don't love you. I said that in the beginning of the video. That's how you know if somebody don't love you. They're trying to take abnormal, unjustified power and control over you and your material things. One brother sent me a text. I was reading this text on one of my lives. He said material things don't matter. Yes, they do. When someone's trying to take over your vehicle, when you go outside and somebody that took your keys, took your vehicle to the store, and then called you from the store, you got to hunt them down. Have you seen my car? You got my car? That material thing does matter. They just ran off with your car without permission. They don't love you. They might love to take your car from you without permission, but they don't give 10 flying cares about you. They just don't. So that's a sign that someone does not love you. So yeah, they're trying to overwhelm you with affection. It doesn't overwhelm me because I know the manipulation in it. And I also know it's not normal to say that so much. I said this in another live. Most of the people that I know all the time. It's a red flag when they're saying it 10 times a day, y'all. It's something that they want. They want to control, how you think about them too. It does not work with me. I go off because I'm not going to forget what you did. I'm not going to forget the name you called me when you got mad. I don't care about the name I called you in response. Don't call me names in the first place. That's called reactive abuse. If somebody is consistently insulting me and calling me a name and I start texting it back or saying it back, that's their karma, and it's called reactive abuse. After you do reactive abuse to them for a short while, let them go. Because they're making your day not as happy as it could be. But the I love you thing, it's a great manipulation. And they're saying it says on here, let me read this again. Narcissists often say, I love you very early and intensely during the love bombing phase of a relationship. In this stage, they overwhelm a new partner with affection, compliments, and gifts to create a powerful emotional dependency. It's only powerful if you're weak-minded, though, and you ain't learned your lesson from the last narcissist. And women can do it too, not just men. This is not an attack on men. Actually, women probably do it better. And see, what a man will do, a man will think a woman that ain't saying it a lot don't love him. So, okay, if a man says, I love you, and I don't say it back, he might say, I'm a demon and I don't love him. But actually, I could love him. Who don't love him for real is the woman that's saying it to him a lot so she can go dig on him. Okay, so men will oftentimes, in my opinion, be manipulated by women. I know this for a fact, being a girl, okay? If I want to woo a man in and trick him, all I got to do is tell him I love him. I know men fall for that shit. But see, I don't do it because I'm not disingenuous. I don't have the heart to do that to a man. And I know I don't really love this man. But I still can say or withhold the I love you, but actually love the man. Stop showing people you like them so much. Because all they do is take it and use it to abuse you. That stuff backfires. Every single male outside of my sons, I'm talking about men that are not my sons, y'all. Every single man or man that's ever said, I love you constantly, or I love you, period. He could just say it one time. My ex-narcissist that I talk about, my aware narcissist, the ex I was with, remember I called him an aware narcissist because that's what he says he is. He said, goddamn right, I'm a narcissist. So he's an aware narcissist. He told me he loved me the first day of meeting me. He does not even know how to love properly. That's the problem with saying it. You know, somebody saying it, it's like some kind of political advertisement, but they're unable to add the validation onto the love. They can say they love you, but it's not real. So narcissists often say, I love you very early and intensely during the love bombing phase of a relationship. In this stage, they overwhelm a new partner with affection, compliments, and gifts to create a powerful emotional dependency. Okay. So I gave you my input on that. I didn't write this. I'm reading to you some materials that I found that I thought I wanted to do commentary on. So I'm doing commentary on the materials. And remember, I told you, they don't always do it early on. This can be a old friend or family member that pops up 50 years later in your life doing this crap. Stop thinking the information is just so exact. So what happens is, since they say that I love you, that manipulation starts early on, you'll ignore that your uncle's doing it to you because you've known him since you've been on earth 35, 40, 25, 50, 85 years. Okay? So you got to add your own common sense in this. Okay? So one reason that a narcissist will do this is to secure supply. During love bombing, a narcissist needs a constant stream of attention and admiration, which they see as their narcissistic supply. By saying I love you frequently and convincingly, that's the problem with me. A narcissist, they can't convince me that what they're saying is true. It's not going to work. They may be able to do it for like a month or two, but once they start showing me that they lack empathy and they start the name calling and they start the mood swings and I start reacting to their bullshit and abusing their ass back, they can't convince me of shit. It's not going to work. It's only going to work for a short amount of time with me because I'm going to be clocking it. My memory bank is going to react to what they're doing. And I'm going to know it's disingenuous. Okay. Because I have the capability to love when I really want to love, I know when somebody loves me and when they don't. I just do. So by saying I love you frequently and convincingly, this article says, they hook their partner and secure this supply. And this is the part where I'm trying to teach you that they should not be hooking you and securing you. And this is why you are not nobody's property. So if somebody can just tell you they love you and they hook you in just on saying that bullshit, you are a weak ass person and you need help and you got a mental problem. It's a mental problem to be real insecure and you are not spiritual, because if this human being can hook you in just by telling you this lie over and over that they love you, you do not have a correct relationship with the Lord. That is what you're lacking. Because like me, I got a relationship with the Lord. And I know the Lord loved me. And I'm a praying woman. So I know that what this human being is saying is bullshit. So if a serial killer can just come and tell you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and you believe it, your relationship with the Lord is very toxic. And you are not filled with the Holy Spirit. And your intuition is crap. It's very bad. You desperate is what you is. You cannot run around life believing that everybody love you. You ain't at church. Say that for the church and the masjid and the mosque and the monastery. If you're not in no religious institution, I was leaving a religious event about a week ago. And we carpool all the time. One of the sisters rolled up and asked myself and my son Daniel if she could give us a ride. I said, did you just leave this religious event? I sure did. I didn't give a damn that she Asian and 4 foot some tall. Myself and Daniel could jump in her car and she'd kill us both and AR-15 our head off. Daniel was familiar with her. I wasn't. So I asked her straight up, did you just leave this religious event? If she would have said no, I would have turned around, backed up on the sidewalk and out of the street and not got in her vehicle. I sure would have. So, you know, you got to watch getting in cars with people and stuff. You got to make sure if you're going to be carpooling and stuff, and you want to make sure that it's safe. Don't just assume they just left that event. Make sure that one of the people in your group know the person. Daniel knew her, and she had just left the same event. You can't just hop in somebody's car looking at them like they 4 feet tall. Sometimes it offends people when you don't trust them right away, but it don't offend me. If you don't trust me right away, I admire you. I say, this is a smart person. So, so I read that they want a secure supply, and I just told you my opinion of this. people shouldn't be securing you because you ain't property. Okay, and idolization of themselves, they want to idolize themselves, basically, the narcissist does. The narcissist is not actually falling in love with you as a person, but with their own fantasy of you. And I do agree with this. Narcissists, they're very unrealistic to the ups and downs of relationships. And I'll give you an example. This was my cousin. When I was having problems and I was having a lot of teenage problems with my sons, he made this comment, something to the effect of, well, what about how bad it's turning out? My cousin, he hasn't been married a long time. His marriage lasted a very short while, and he hasn't raised kids as long as I have. But this is what I told my cousin. I said, this is the reality of a family. A family is not perfect. It's not really that it's so bad. This is just the reality of raising sons. It's just like a married couple. They have a dispute or argument. And you say, ooh, well, look how corrupt their marriage is. No, that's actually normal. Now, it's not normal. Oh my God, I was just watching this video, y'all. Ooh. Ooh. Oh my God. Oh, I gotta find this video and put it in the description box. This man shot his wife, y'all, in cold blood right outside. He was a full-blown alcoholic. Woo, I gotta put that in the description box. You hear me? Oh my goodness. I watched this video yesterday maybe 3 times. Now, this video I'm gonna put of this abuse, I just wrote it down. So I gotta add the elderly abuse live. I gotta add my reaction video. I gotta create a playlist for Brantley's channel. I'm writing this down, y'all, so I can remember. I'm not gonna remember all of this. And I'm gonna add the video of this crazy alcoholic, big old big belly, crazy lunatic man shot his wife, boy, but she gave him some hell. She did reactive abuse real good, y'all. Oh my God, she didn't play. Let me see if I could find it here. Whoo, it was horrible. Yeah, I'll find it later. Okay, so I'll find it later. I can't find it right now. I gotta finish reading this. So it says the narcissist is idolizing you. The narcissist is not actually falling in love with you as a person, but with their own fantasy of you. And I brought up the fantasy in this article. I commented about that because it is a fantasy. Like I told my cousin, it's normal. What I'm going through is normal. And I had to point out to my cousin when he said this, that I'm actually having a good result from some of my children. Not all of my children am I having a real big problem with. So what I had to point out to my cousin when we had that conversation months ago is that it's being over exaggerated in some sense that all of my children are so toxic. Like, for example, I have 3 sons. Of course, y'all know I have a lot of problems with Elijah. He's the middle son that's moved out. Some of that's improved on some level. He ain't called me a bitch this week or 2. I don't think he's called me a bitch since about a month ago when I called the police on his black ass again. And I didn't go support his family and shit. I'm not supporting him, but I am supporting some of the financial stuff with Elijah, like making sure his health insurance stays in place. I am supporting Elijah in a motherly way, but I'm just not over supporting. I'm not allowing myself to be used. But Daniel, he went through the incarceration. That's actually normal. Believe it or not, a family member, because I got a black family, y'all. It's a black family. So in a black family, when somebody get arrested, that's normal. I'm like a square. My ex-narcissist, my aware ex-narcissist considered me a square. But even I've been in some handcuffs. It's normal. It just is. I mean, teenagers go to juvenile detention. Now, what's not normal and what is unhealthy is for it to continue to go on for years and years and years. But if it happens once or twice, Daniel's doing just fine right now. Let's pray that he stays on a good road. But I had to point out to my cousin the good things about Daniel and Isaiah. They still live at home. So I had to explain to my cousin that it's not as corrupt as he may think. And what I learned from that conversation is sometimes point out more good about your family. Maybe I'm talking too much about the negative part, but I pointed out good. I always point out good about my sons, but I told the catastrophe that he thinks it is, and it's part of a normal family. My cousin has been arrested, right? So is he in and out of prison? No, but it's normal. That's what I had to tell my cousin. What I'm going through is part of raising a family. Okay. And my cousin understood it. He wasn't like he wasn't in denial about it or anything like that. There was no debate. I just explained to him how a family really works. It ain't perfect. Family members talk shit to each other. Now, where I draw the line is when you violently threatening me, talking about you're gonna come to my house and kick my ass, and you gonna post post-it notes on my door and tell me I'm not shit like Elijah does. Now, Elijah takes it too far, my middle son. So I keep him away from the house, but I communicate with him, and I'm still a mother. I'm still wanting to make sure he has good health insurance, medical, dental, and vision. I still do my motherly part. I still talk to him. I try to uplift him. And actually, just this weekend, Elijah was apologizing to me, but he don't mean it, y'all. His apologies at this point are disingenuous. They just are. I could feel that, but at least he apologized. Only he fully know his heart and soul. But they gonna apologize when you stop helping their ass, because some people realize they burned a bridge, y'all. So yeah, the narcissist has a fantasy of you, and empaths do too. Empathic people, like my cousin, he has some level of empathy. He has a fantasy and a way he thinks a family should look that's very unrealistic, and that's why I told my cousin months ago, I was like, no, this is actually normal. Families struggle. You've been living in the house with somebody. I've been in the same home with all my sons since they've been born. Come on now, it's just normal to not always get along. But the result being a good one is where you should strive. It's very unhealthy for it to continue and not get better. So you got to put in the boundaries for it to get better. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk about that, because not just narcissists have fantasies of relationships, so do empaths. Because empathic people have a narcissistic trait in them, and they love bomb too, and they have a lot of fantasies of narcissists. That's why empaths get with narcissists. They have a fantasy that this person gonna love and take care of them and be kind to them every day. And then the empath, especially unaware ones, the unaware empath has to find out that that ain't true. And many of them grow closer to the Lord because they realize the Lord is who's going to fill my soul up, not this narcissist. So people do this in general. They fantasize with their sibling relationships, They have a certain fantasy of what it's going to be like. And when the fantasy is not met or what they think it's going to be, they think it's bad. And that's kind of like what my cousin was doing. He just put all of my kids like in a bad situation category, which is actually not the case. Because there's a lot of good in my children. But everybody got issues, y'all. They're young. I also had to point out that to my cousin too. The youngness in my family. They're very young males. Okay. So they got to grow up just like me and my cousin did and figure it out, right? Okay, so next it says, the narcissist believes they have found the perfect ideal partner, which reinforces their own inflated sense of self-worth. Now, if you come into a relationship with a fantasy or a delusion that it's going to be so perfect, that's what's going to increase your self-worth or decrease it. Your self-worth is going to go down because you are living in a delusion. But if you come into situations more realistic, your self-worth and confidence will go up. See, I have a realistic standard for my family. Okay? And so my self-worth and confidence is not going to decrease or go down. Because what do they teach you in Zen Buddhism? It is your desires and your desires and what you want. What you want and your desires is what's gonna destroy you. Oh, your expectations. Your expectations and your desires. In Zen Buddhism, they teach that's what destroys people. I rent and I live in a home. But if my expectation is and my desire is only to have $1 million mansion, and that's all it got to be. I got to have $1 million mansion, y'all. Then my expectation and my want and desire, that's what's going to destroy me. They teach that in Zen Buddhism. So if you don't have all these expectations of anyone, then you won't be so miserable. Because you never expected they asked to do right in the first place, okay? I maintain a lot of contentment, peace, and happiness by accepting that my expectations may not come true. But see, I lower my expectations. I don't make all these big, grandiose expectations because that's not realistic. So, so if you have a bunch of unrealistic expectations, I would agree that it's going to decrease your self-worth in anything. So I'm going to testify to that. So have realistic expectations of your kids, your spouses, and your family. Don't put too much on people. I teach my sons this, y'all. Any people, especially the youth, teens, and young people, I teach them this. It's better to have 2 projects that you complete than have 15 projects and things to do that you never can complete. Take on the 2 things, complete it, and master those 2 things. Instead of taking on 15 things and you didn't accomplish anything. Get you 1 bank account that you save some money in. Just 1. Instead of having 15 accounts that all overdraw and you end up owing the bank money. That's what I do now. That helps my anxiety, and my anxiety is doing really good right now. And I haven't been having many headaches lately. But see, I only take on what I can take on. When Daniel was incarcerated, I knew all I could do is go to work, make sure I did what I needed to do to get Daniel out of that jail situation, and continue to mentor and help Isaiah to the best of my ability to get his confidence up and on the right track, and then communicate with Elijah here and there. And one of the ways I communicate with Elijah is calling the freaking police. And I just talked to him and he doing real fine. And keep him out the house. So having realistic expectations really helps. And not taking on more than you can handle. I just gave an example. It's better to have 2 projects and 2 things to do and you master those completely than to take on 15 things and you don't accomplish any of it. Okay? Just do the 2 things and complete it and master those things. Okay? That's my suggestion. So, okay, so this article says, I love you as a weapon of control. As the relationship progresses, a narcissist's declarations of love become a form of control and manipulation. Yeah, it does. Yeah. And you know what? It says the relationship progresses. Just look at it this way. I'm going to add my commentary and my opinion and perspective on this. A narcissistic relationship does not progress. Time moves in the relationship, but it is not progressing. In a narcissistic relationship, it's not a come up. Any narcissist I've ever been with, everything I got right now is not because of a narcissist. It's because of what I did on my own to make it happen. No narcissist has bought any of my leather furniture or anything. It's all because of what I make happen. Being with a narcissist is not progress. It's not. It may seem like progress in a certain area, but it's not healthy progress. What happens when you're with a narcissist is time moves. You just wasted a lot of time. It ain't no real progress. You could be with a narcissist. Okay, I'll use my crappy marriage as an example. It seemed like progress. I bought a home, had some kids, got married. It seems like a financial come up too, because my ex-husband and I both worked. It wasn't progress. This is why. It's going to end with me being in court, having to pay this Negro or this nigga over $60,000. And I'm going to lose my house because the nigga's going to fight with me over the house. And the kids ain't going to like me because he's going to teach his children not to like me. It's a bad deal. There's no progress. So when I married my ex-husband, it's not progress. The progress that's made, now I'm going to point this out. You actually make emotional and spiritual progress when you get away from their ass. That's the progress. But it's not progress when you're ensnared, like H.G. Tudor would say, when you're enmeshed with that narcissist. And usually you're not progressing when you're interacting with they sociopathic ass kids. Let them have it. Let them have the house, them kids, and all that stuff. Learn to live a more peaceful life. I brought this up in another video. If more people thought like I do right now, the black woman that ended up being killed, chopped up, and cooked on the barbecue grill by her own daughter and granddaughter would still be alive. But see, she didn't view them the way I view them. Okay, so viewing people in this way will keep your ass off the barbecue grill. Okay, stop thinking that this is Fantasy Island or the Good Times or Little House on the Prairie or the Brady Bunch. That's not what this is. This is 2025, okay? So, yeah, so it's not true progress to be with a narcissist. And even in the areas where it appears to be progress, somebody may be with a narcissist and they're a billionaire. Yes, they're progressing financially, but the emotional state of the person that's using the narcissist for the $1 billion, their emotional state is going to decline. And it's not progress when you're unhappy. So what I found is the true progress happens when you get away from the narcissist. Now, for some people, they may end up having good benefits, like, okay, the narcissist dies and they left you a good life insurance or pension plan. Okay, so in that way, some people benefit from the narcissist, but that ain't even progress because it's a benefit, but at the same time, they threw their whole life away fucking around with a narcissist. So, in my opinion, and when they say in this article, they're talking about as time moves, because I just reread it. It says as the relationship progresses, but it's not like academic progress. They just mean it's just moving forward. It's not healthy progress. So this article, as I reread it, they're meaning the type of progress that I'm saying, and I'm explaining it this way so you will know that in my opinion, you're never progressing with a narcissist, but you can use the situation to help other people. So I can talk about it on this channel, in my channel, progress and improve. But I'm away from the narcissist now. I'm not in the marriage. I'm not around those children. So yes, I can progress now because I moved on with my life. But in order to get that progress, you got to be in no contact. I'm in complete no contact. I have no dealings with the ex-spouse or the children that came out of it. I'm in no contact with the complete situation. Because the narcissist kids, they're like attack dogs, right? Especially if they're brainwashed. Don't deal with brainwashed people. The only way a brainwashed person can wake up is they have to cut all contact with the person that brainwashed and manipulated them. If the brainwashed person is not willing to do that, all you're going to be doing is just draining yourself dry and paying more money. So I'm just pointing out, I didn't progress when I was with the ex-narcissist. Not progress that you feel in your soul. You're not progressing when you gotta go to court and fight in court and the man or woman has to pay the narcissist all this freaking child support. You're not progressing. You got yourself in some shit is what you did. It's not progress. Progress begins the day you leave. That's when you're progressing. I know this for a fact, trust me. So as the relationship progresses, a narcissist's declaration of love becomes a form of control and manipulation. It's a declaration of love. It's a lie. It's better to call it a lie. They don't love you. So invalidation and gaslighting is what this article says. The narcissist may say, I love you, to downplay or excuse their own abusive or hurtful behavior. This leaves their partner confused, questioning their own perception of reality when it clashes with the words of love. This is one of the unaware empath's weaknesses. I'm going to add this to it, y'all. This is my commentary and perspective on this. The unaware narcissist doesn't know how to align the words love with actions. As an aware narcissist, I know how to align those two. I can determine, okay, he's saying he loved me, but he's calling me a name this week. So I can react to that properly. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, I'm finishing off this video. And so once I finish this video, I'll call you back. Okay, so I'll call you. Gonna answer? Okay. So I'll call you within like 30 minutes or so, like that. Okay, thank you. Bye. Yeah, when you got friends that's kind of like workaholics, y'all, they yeah, they're workaholics are workaholics, okay? So it's not that someone's purposely not calling you back. That's not how that works. What's happening is they go to sleep, y'all. Don't you do it too? You know, people be patient when people are working like 2 and 3 jobs and stuff like that. I check on my firstborn. Hello, Isaiah. Where are you at, dear heart?
I'm not on McDonald's.
Okay. What bus you catching?
The bus.
Okay. Okay. If can you text me when you're on there? I'm at home and Daniel's at home as well. Okay. We look forward to seeing you. I love it when my son says, "Okay, mother." I'm on a live, son. Say hi to my viewers.
Hello.
Yeah, Isaiah said, "Hello, viewers." Yeah, thank you, son. I'll just text me when you're on the bus and enjoy your McDonald's. Okay. Okay. Love you. Yeah. So he was raised by me, y'all. He didn't say I love you back, but he does most of the time. I don't take it personal. I'm not a narcissist. You ain't gotta every time I say I love you, say it back. But he's at McDonald's trying to eat his food. And if you're not in the mood to say it, don't say it. Isaiah always tells me he loves me. So it's no big deal. But he was rushing to get off the phone. And he trying to show y'all he a man on the live, y'all. See, when I told him that he's on the live, he didn't say it, I love you back. But if I don't tell him, if I don't tell Isaiah he's on the live, he's like, I love you, mother. But he trying to show manliness, you know what I mean? Like he trying to show the viewers he's just not no punk ass little boy. So that's all. You gotta understand the way males think and not take it so personal. So yeah, so invalidation and gaslighting. The narcissist may say, I love you to downplay or excuse their own abusive or hurtful behavior. This leaves their partner confused, questioning their own perception of reality when it clashes with the words of love. Yeah, and I was pointing out that unaware empaths, you could be stumping them out, breaking their nose and jaw. Long as you telling an unaware empath you love them, they cool. But see, an aware empath, I'm able to align the two. You saying you love me, but you beating my ass. You do not love me. But an unaware empath, I used to be an unaware empath. So I used to be the type of person that didn't align the two enough. I actually would believe or wanted or desired someone that loved me, that treated me really bad. I did. I was once that person, y'all. Did I do it all the time in every situation? I think I was always somewhere in the middle. I wasn't extreme. I wasn't somebody that extremely thought that I love you and you got physically violent with me. I didn't believe all the time somebody loved you. But you know what? I learned a lot of valuable lessons from my grandmother. But the way I was able to learn the lessons of even neglect was my grandmother blessed me by not saying she loved me so much. So, for example, when my grandmother's restaurant closed and she left me and my little daughter that was not even 2 years old, left us in the attic, not the attic, it wasn't an attic, the upstairs, the house part of the restaurant had closed. My grandmother left us up there like we was furniture. Not one time came to check on us. I was a teenager at the time. You got 2 kids up here in this upstairs of this restaurant, of this closed restaurant. We were in the house part. But my grandmother, when my daughter and I came down to check on my grandmother wasn't saying, I love you, Irene. I love you, Snooky. She wasn't saying that bullshit. So at an early age, and my grandmother did me a favor. So because of that circumstance, I was able to align that what she's doing is not love. So my grandmother offered me a blessing. She blessed me because what my grandmother didn't do was lie. She didn't give me the mixed signal. I'm leaving you and your daughter upstairs like dogs. They might have would have checked on the dogs. My grandmother and her friend Mitch might have would have checked on some dogs, but we weren't checked on. My grandmother was neglecting us. She showed that she was grieving over her restaurant. She lost her restaurant. She treated her restaurant like it was her baby. And she treated me and my daughter, Snooky, like we were not her babies. However, the blessing is my grandmother did not send the mixed signals. So as a sober teenager, I was able to analyze, damn, this lady hate us. Let me get the fuck up out of here, dog. So I took my ass, walked my ass around the restaurant, went through the alleyway. St. Louis had some horrific, St. Louis, Missouri, they had some horrific rats around there, y'all. Them big sewer rats. So on Olive Street in St. Louis, Missouri, especially because the rats smell the cooking, and they used to just walk around that restaurant like big dogs and shit. Walk all down the street, and everywhere. So I walked my ass around the restaurant. Me and my daughter Snooky went outside one day. Snooky kept pushing the jukebox. She see the jukebox don't work. My firstborn daughter, and she got kind of depressed because my daughter Snooky was like, "Let's light it up in here. Let's light this shit up." Nothing lit up because the lights is out. We're working on a generator, so this stuff ain't working. And to prove the trauma of it, y'all, this is the trauma that goes along with this restaurant. To this day, I cannot fully recall what we ate. Ain't that something? I know what I ate when the restaurant was open. I love me some fried chicken breast, mashed potatoes and corn. I would mix my mashed potato and corn up together just like Uncle Paul used to do. He taught me how to do that and put some butter on it and make it taste good. But I can't tell you what we was eating, y'all. I know my daughter was still on a bottle. I can remember more what my daughter was eating, but I don't remember what the hell I ate. I remember some food being brought in, but that's just the trauma of the situation. So the blessing that my grandmother offered is she did not send a mixed signal. She clearly showed she loved her restaurant, and me and my daughter was just left and neglected way upstairs. It bothers me right now to this day because I think about this more over the past 2 months, and I think about this. I say, thank the Lord I wasn't a suicidal type person. You know, like how some of these kids are, and I thank the Lord I wasn't on no drugs. Because doing that to a teenager and a baby that's not even 2, that's when I first witnessed, and I know for sure that a 1-year-old can get depressed. Because when my daughter, Snooky, that's her nickname, when she kept pressing the buttons on the jukebox to get it to light up, you could see the sadness on her face that this joint ain't lighting up no more. And she looked down and sad. And so a 1-year-old can get sad and depressed due to their circumstances. So I tried to get her in a better situation. I really did. As a mother, I tried to get her in a better situation. But you're trying to get the child in a better situation, but the problem is you're still a freaking child yourself. Remember, I'm a teenager as well. So I did the best I could, but still kind of failed at that. Okay? So, because I ended up marrying the narcissist. And that was no good for me and my little girl. and I moved out of town. Okay. So I ended up moving out of town on the West Coast to where my grandmother originally sent me to visit for the summer when I was 13 years old. So I ended up right now, that's the location I'm at where my grandmother originally sent me. So I contribute where I'm at now due to my grandmother's love and her allowing me to visit out of town. My grandmother could have said, no, you can't go. But my grandmother, she allowed my sister to visit Alabama. My little sister wanted to go to Alabama. That's where she was when I left St. Louis. And then when I was 13, before I had my daughter, I visited the West Coast. And then later ended up, later in my teen years, right around my young adult age, ended up moving here pretty much. Somewhere around, right around 18 years old. Okay. So, yeah, that's just how it worked out. But the blessing is my grandmother did not send the mixed signal. Okay. So for that, I'm grateful. So what that means is my grandmother was not trying to manipulate me. That's a blessing when somebody ain't trying to manipulate you. My grandmother was just an old school Capricorn. Okay. They ain't really hiding they shit. Look, my motherfucking baby is this restaurant. I'm losing my baby. Hopefully, Irene, you and your baby make it upstairs. Because I'm not checking on you niggas. Because my baby is my motherfucking restaurant. I ended up one day walking outside. I walked around the restaurant. I took my daughter Snooki. I walked around the restaurant. I walked down the alley. Oh, by the way, I was able to walk down the alley and not be scared anymore because there's no more sewer rats coming up out the alley because they ain't coming up because they don't smell the restaurant food no more. Why the fuck the sewer rats gonna come up? They like, shit, dog, ain't nothing over here to eat. You know, because the sewer rats, they'll eat out the garbage can. We did a pretty good job keeping them out the restaurant. That was cool. We kept them out of there where the food area was and stuff like that. But as maintenance workers and bookkeepers start to pass away, the rats, the sewer rats, they're bold as fuck. They want to try to come in on you and shit. But overall, we all was in the restaurant and no rats were present. They stayed in the alley. St. Louis, Missouri alleys are filled with freaking rats. Sewer rats, regular rats, that's just what I do not miss that part of St. Louis, Missouri. Them freaking the rats, the rat infestation. And they have it in Britain too, y'all. Oh my God, I watched videos of the British rat problem. I know I'm a little off subject, but in Britain, what happens is the rats, when they give them the rat food and when the rats are pregnant, the baby rats, the rats that's in the mother's womb become immune to the rat food. So guess what? Not food, poison, y'all, the rat poison. So the rat poison no longer works, y'all, because the freaking rats are immune to the rat poison. And this is happening over in Britain. I watched this several years ago of the rat infestation over in the British, where the British live, in Britain, okay? So I don't know if other areas of Europe have that same problem, but basically the rat poison ain't working for the rats because how it happened, the way they explained it is when the female rats take the poison when they're pregnant, they inhale the poison or eat the poison, they don't die. Their babies just become immune to the poison. So the poison no longer works. So basically the rat poison is like candy to them. And these people had beautiful homes in Britain, and the British people, they live in these beautiful homes with all these rats all around their house. So in St. Louis, Missouri, not to change the subject, when me and my daughter Snooki, or my daughter and I, we walked around the neighborhood, went through the alley, and when I seen the rats ghosted the neighborhood, I ghosted it too. I got up out of there. I I did not move back to St. Louis, Missouri ever. I knew that my grandmother used to say, "Oh, you'll be back. You coming back to move." No, I will not, ma'am. I knew I would not be moving back there anytime soon because I am smart enough to know that when the motherfucking rats, these rats big like cats, y'all, from a distance, you would think it's a cat. These sewer rats was big as hell, y'all. When I first seen a sewer rat, I thought it was a cat. It wasn't, it was a rat. Okay, but they're huge. I don't know what them sewer rats are eating, but they're huge. And they wasn't walking around no more. So I subconsciously and consciously said, why am I here? It's time for me to go too. And that's a whole nother story of how it went when I got up out of there. But what I'm doing is being more grateful for my grandmother for not lying. Oh my God, she probably would have messed me up so bad in the mind if she would have left me and my daughter up there and I was a teenager and my daughter was number one some years old, almost 2 years old. It probably would have really messed my mind up if my grandmother would have been saying, "I love you, Irene. I love you, Snooky." She wasn't doing all that bullshit. She wasn't doing all that shit. So she didn't fuck me up in the mind. So it allowed me to feel and see what it felt like at that moment not to be loved by my grandmother in the way I wanted to be loved. And I got the hell up out of there. And I don't put myself in them situations. That's one of the reasons I stay unmarried. Because if I feel a glimpse that a man gonna be neglecting me and ignoring me and acting like I don't exist, one of the males that's really good at doing that, y'all, are narcissistic males that are workaholics. Narcissistic males do not know how to, they don't plan. Some of them will tell you they're not good planners. So when they're workaholics, they're not going to be planning shit with you neither. Any man that tells me he don't plan and he ain't trying to better that for himself, I don't mess with those. The beauty is, when I did move on the West Coast, I was no longer being neglected. I wasn't just upstairs, myself and my daughter, being ignored like that. That's the truth of the matter. When I moved out of town, that neglect part that I was experiencing and that part of that emotional abuse that my grandmother was doing to myself and my little girl, it went away. Right now, today, I'm not being neglected. Where I'm at on the West Coast, I'm not being neglected here. So that's the truth of the matter. So it's over with. May my grandmother Nettie rest in peace. And hopefully she's not being neglected in heaven. The last thing I would want is my grandmother in heaven being treated like I was at the restaurant. And you know, her restaurant was her baby. I get it. I get it. Hey, my grandmother loved money. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. It's all good. May the Lord take care of her. And I appreciate, hey, I'm grateful for the fact she let me stay up in the motherfucker. Hey, she's ignoring me. But my grandmother could have said, "Bitch, you and your baby get out on the sidewalk." She allowed me to live in her closed down restaurant. And I'm grateful for that. We wasn't outside. We was in a comfortable bed. The sewer rats wasn't in our home. It wasn't in our home part. It wasn't no rats up there where we was at. They wasn't there in there, period. No rats were in there. Wasn't no damn food. The motherfucking restaurant closed. Like I said, I went outside and when I seen the rats wasn't walking around and shit, as a teenager, I said, I got to get the fuck up out of here. Damn, dog, the rat's gone. And my daughter, she noticing this shit too. My little girl was real smart. Snooky. She looking like, damn, mama. Because she down there short as the rat. She used to wear these big old walking shoes and shit. clunk, clunk, clunk. You could hear her. She started walking down the streets in front of the restaurant, or walking down the street in front of the restaurant at like 9 months old. I got her these big, them big, you know, them name brand, them big, thick ass walking shoes. Not that Walmart shit. These was motherfucking real good shoes. Like Oshkosh Bagosh and Buster Brown shoes, the good shoes back in the day. British Bros, them hard ass shoes, y'all. My daughter was walking down the street, clunk, clunk, clunk at 9 months old. She gone down the street, just started walking out the blue. So she was a fast learner. So yeah, me and her got up out of there. So and then later she ended up moving to Texas, you know. So anyway, let me finish this off. Yeah, I went over this. The leaving partners confused. So justification for demands. To a narcissist, saying I love you is a way of signaling that that they own you. They may use the phrase to demand your time and loyalty, and if you express unhappiness, they can use their love to argue that you are ungrateful. Let me read this again. Justification for demands. To a narcissist now, not an empath, saying I love you, this is what the article says. I'm reading what the article says. Is a way of signaling that they own you. And it will feel that way. When someone that's highly narcissistic say it, it feels bad. It's like, it feels like they're taking some kind of power and control over you that they should not have. It really does. So it signals like they own you or something. That's how it feels. It's just not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling when a narcissist says they love you. So the article says they may use the phrase to demand your time and loyalty. And if you express unhappiness, they can use their love to argue that you are ungrateful. But the narcissist, when they say you're ungrateful, they're projecting. Because the narcissist is the ungrateful one. They're very ungrateful for even the simple things in life. That's the beauty of being empathic, that I'm able to appreciate my little makeshift studio that I'm standing in. It's not a legitimate, really nice studio, but I'm happy to be here. I'm able to appreciate the space that I'm in. A narcissist, they can get $1 million house and be sad within 24 hours. A narcissist has the inability to appreciate a lot of things. And how can you appreciate what you're supposed to appreciate? A lot of them will tell that lie, material things don't matter. Yes, they do. I'm very grateful for this little makeshift studio I have. I got a stand and everything. I got a photo, a fan, 3 devices that I'm working off of right now. So yeah, I appreciate this. So yeah, so they'll say you're ungrateful. Most narcissists, I'm gonna be honest, will not say that to me. That's usually something I'm saying to the narcissist, because the narcissist is ungrateful. I probably interact with aware narcissists, so they're more aware that they're the narcissist. So, like for example, my aware narcissist, my ex-narcissist, he knew that I was one of the most grateful people that he could ever meet. That wasn't something he ever said about me, because I was able to genuinely show love. So he actually thought I was too grateful for his ass. That's actually the way he came off. He never said I was ungrateful, because he knew that how I was, he knew I was gonna call him a bunch of lying ass niggas. He knew I ain't like a liar. So my aware narcissist early on, my ex-aware narcissist early on learned that it was best not to lie to me. So he was more honest. He didn't say that I was ungrateful because it wasn't true. If he said I was ungrateful, it was going to be a lie, and I wasn't going to have a problem pointing that lie out. So okay, so that's the thing. So the narcissist will be ungrateful for everything. If you have people around you and you know that they've just received big blessings, houses, vehicles, monies and stuff like that, cash will make a narcissist happy for a little while, but they won't even be able to hold out gratefulness and happiness even with big large sums of cash. Give me a large sum of cash and let me get on one of these lives. I'm gonna show you grateful. But over time, narcissists just are denied blessings because the Lord sees that they're ungrateful. So things just begin not to work out for them. And I'm adding that part. That part is not in the article. Ungratefulness doesn't get you anywhere with the Lord. It just doesn't. Because the Lord will decide, I'm not giving him or her that. I'm not even going to give him or her peace. I'm going to take their peace away too. What does the Bible say? They're handed over to a reprobate mind. And it happens. It really does. So, okay, a tool for hoovering, the article says, if a partner tries to leave the relationship, the narcissist will use I love you to try to draw them back in. Yep, they'll do that. They'll call you and say that bullshit. So they'll notice you're leaving because you won't be contacting them as much or at all. A lot of times you'll block narcissists from your phone. So they'll notice your lack of communication and you're just moving on. Some people you're not calling them back because you're busy and you're being neglectful yourself, but they're not narcissists. So everybody you're not calling back is not because they are narcissists, okay? That's not the reason why, but it's specific when they are narcissists. So if a partner tries to leave the relationship, the narcissist will use I love you to try to draw them back in, also known as hoovering. The partner craving the idealization of the early days can easily fall back into the cycle of abuse. And a reminder, make sure you check the description below. So within about 15 minutes of me releasing this video to the public, within 15 minutes of this video ending, make sure you check the description below. You can do it in 5 minutes, but I'm gonna make sure I put that video that I watched where it was a police cam. Well, it was a video of a murder pretty much. This crazy husband that was a full-blown alcoholic murdered his wife. The video was filled with reactive abuse and her expressing how she felt, catching him gaslighting her, and stuff like that. Blame shifting. Her ex-husband was a very cruel man. He was pissy drunk when he murdered her too. It was horrible. So, okay, it says, saying I love you is a tool that the narcissist uses to suck you back in, which is the hoovering. If a partner tries to leave the relationship, the narcissist will use I love you to draw you back in. They will do that. That's a major go-to. Also known as hoovering, the partner craving the idealization of the early days can easily fall back into the cycle of abuse. And you fall back into cycles of abuse if you better your relationship with the Lord. And I'm not saying becoming nicey, nice. If you have a more stronger foundation and you are replenished and you feel the love of the Lord, you will be less likely to fall for this crap, okay? So I love you as an expression of their own feelings, the article says. For a narcissist, the phrase I love you is really an inward focused statement. I love you. I love me through you. Okay, the narcissist is expressing how good you make them feel about themselves. I was talking to a brother about that within the last month where the brother made a statement. Well, don't you feel happier since Daniel's home? I said, yeah, it's good, but my happiness does not come just from Daniel. Um, I don't rely on my son Daniel or any of my sons for my happiness. My happiness comes from within, and I understand that yes, it's nice to have a kind son or a son that comes home from incarceration or college or whatever they're coming from. Whether he coming from incarceration, he went to college, he went to boarding school, camp, he's coming home. Daniel has went to church camp, and he's went on camps when he was in elementary school. His first time leaving home to go somewhere wasn't just when he got incarcerated. Okay, he's went to church camp. He's went to camp when he was in elementary school. He was gone for a few days and stuff like that. So I was telling this brother, no, I don't. My happiness is not coming just from Daniel. I had to find that I got to be happy before he even comes home, right? So narcissists, they need too much validation. A narcissist, they need you to be happy, and that's their flaw. And a lot of narcissists, they break up with their wives and husbands, and they get on drugs, they go commit suicide because they're too reliant on someone else to bring them happiness. So they never feel the peace and contentment. Like HD Tudor would say, the narcissist is like in the abyss all the time. You can't overly rely on people. Look at the duck boat case. The sister that lost her entire family on the duck boat. So the duck boat, DUCK, and she lost her 3 to 4 children. I think it was 3 children and her husband. And they all died. She was the only survivor of her immediate family, the duck boat case. That lady had a lot of strength. I think she was like a Pisces. So she's a Pisces water sign, and she survived it and still seemed to find some kind of happiness. They were like church going people, and they went on a duck boat cruise. And I see them here on the West Coast, the duck boats driving around. And she lost her husband and 3 to 4 children. I don't know what the status of her life is now, but I found that she seemed to have a lot of resilience because she still was able to sit there and talk. And she was an excellent swimmer. She made it out of it and saved her own life. I know she was in a lonely space after she lost her husband and 3 to 4 kids because they drowned. I think she had 3, y'all. Everybody drowned in her immediate household. Her husband and 3 to 4 of her children. I think she had 3, y'all, but I'm going to say 4 because I don't want to leave any of them out. So I'll say 3 to 4 children. Let's just say 4. She had 4 because I don't want to leave any of them out. And they all drowned because of the duck boat malfunction. It went down and they drowned. But she had a resilience in her, and I don't think all of her love, I don't think she just relied on her husband and all of her children to make her happy. I don't sense that she did. And even if she did, she learned through everybody in her household drowning that love does not just come from her husband and children. She learned that people that donated loved her. She had a lot of emotional support. The news and media even supported her. They were supporting her even by allowing her to tell the story so she could get it out of her system. But I admired her strength. She was a black lady. It happened, I think, within the last 5 to 10 years, something like that, the duck boat incident. You can look it up. I'll try to maybe find a video on it. But she was a black lady. She had She was a pretty chubby black lady. She could swim. She made it, you know, and her 4 children, 3 to 4 children, and husband did not make it, unfortunately. But I'm using that as an example that you don't just want to rely on just your kids and husband to love you. You gotta feel love from within too, because your whole family could be taken out at any moment. Then what you gonna do? I mean, the bottom line is there's a reason that the Lord allowed that lady to live. It just wasn't her time to go. The sad thing is the true reason her whole family died is because when they got on the boat, the captain or whoever that was said they didn't need life jackets. So, yes, we do need life jackets, sir. But he told everybody they don't need life jackets. And everybody fell for it, got on. He's okay. He said we don't need life jackets. But they found out after everybody drowned that they do need life jackets. But, you know, it's one of the things you're not thinking nothing gonna happen. But he told them they didn't need life jackets, and shit, I think he dead too. Or he lived. I'm not sure if he lived or not. I'm actually not sure about that. But I know him manipulating them and telling them they didn't need life jackets was a very bad thing for the duck boat business as well. So yeah, so it's an inward focused statement. When a narcissist says they love you, they know it ain't real. And if they think it's real, they're an unaware narcissist. So if they're like HG Tudor explains this, like the mid-range narcissist, they will actually believe they love you. You could point out 15 things to the narcissist. You could say, well, you said you love me, but you robbed me, beat me and my kids up, kicked my car, called me a bunch of bitches, slashed all my car tires. You can consistently give facts to all the things the narcissist is doing to show that they don't love you. But the narcissist, if he's an unaware or she is an unaware narcissist, they will believe they love you no matter the evidence. So if the narcissist is a mid-range narcissist, he or she is capable of believing they love you when they don't. They didn't abandon you in jail. Ain't came to visit you while you incarcerated. Oh, come on, Daniel. I'm talking about this. I'm talking about love right now. So yesterday on the live on October 4th, we did a lot of talking about Daniel's channel. So Daniel, come over here and let them know to check the playlist.
Check the playlist from my channel, please.
Say it loud so they hear it.
Check the playlist for my channel.
Yeah, the playlist is called Daniel. It's not, but also his channel is called Daniel. But the easiest way to get to Daniel's channel is to go through my playlist. And I have like, I think 4 videos on there. One is called The Clown.
The Clown.
Yeah, and check Emo Boy out too. He's my YouTube son. Daniel's my biological son. But Emo Boy is my YouTube son. And I also just adopted another YouTube son, Brantley Harden. And both of those YouTube sons are supporting Daniel. So those are like his YouTube brothers now because they subscribed to Daniel's channel. So so I'm gonna be starting a playlist for Brantley Hardens, and I'll introduce you to him. And then Daniel's gonna be going on both of my YouTube sons' channels because he has YouTube brothers now, right? Mm-hmm. So if I take on YouTube sons, Daniel has YouTube brothers. And I'm teaching all these males to support one another. And I don't care what race they are. Brantley Harden, from seeing his video, from looking at it, I don't think he's a black male. He's still my YouTube son. He ain't got to be black to be my YouTube son. This is how I feel about Brantley Harden, okay? So he's kind to me. I know Emo Boy is a mixed heritage. So I don't care. They're young men and they need mentoring and they need help. And they've been supportive of me and they're supporting my biological son. So why can't they be YouTube brothers and YouTube sons? Right, Daniel?
That's very true.
So how do you feel about that, Daniel?
I feel very good.
You do?
Yep.
Yeah, Daniel took a nap, so he's well rested. So let's see if we could get
One more question just for you personally. Be quiet. Cover your ears, people.
oh, I have to check it.
We'll check it by
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll check
What
it.
time is it now?
8:22. Okay, so I'll check
you.
that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, mother.
Yeah, you're welcome. But I'm quite sure it's not because of what I was saying yesterday.
That's true.
But so Monday is when the bank will be open.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're talking about bank stuff, y'all. So Daniel, let me see. I'm almost finished reading this. So did you want to participate in anything else?
Oh, no, thank you. We gonna make a good video for that one in like a day. Just me and you make video.
Yeah. So Daniel's saying we're gonna be back on here to make a video.
Yes,
So the narcissist is expressing how good you make them feel about themselves. So they're saying I love you through you. So the narcissist is over reliant on you. And these kind of people, you can't love them enough, right? When somebody relies on you to make them feel good, and they have to have you at all times to make themselves feel good, you're gonna be almost in back in St. Louis, Missouri, they called it Malcolm Bliss. You're gonna be in the mental institution. Okay, that's what they called it back in the day. They had the mental institution back in St. Louis, Missouri, and it was called Malcolm Bliss. Okay, and I don't interact heavily with people that need me to make them feel good. Like the only way they know how to feel good is through me. I'm not their God. It's a role that I'm gonna be incapable of fulfilling. It's impossible for me to make you feel like you happy all the time. I can't do it because I gotta fulfill myself as well. I'm a human. So it's no way a person, the two happiest people, the best type of marriages, I'm gonna tell you this, I know this for a fact, is two individuals that find happiness before they meet one another. Those are the best marriages. I've seen these type of marriages. Okay, those are the marriages that work. They gotta find individual happiness. But if they are marrying you to make themselves happy, oh my God, you getting ready to experience hell. Because you got a hyperactive, narcissistic toddler on your hands. And they're gonna be aggressive and violent because you're not gonna be able to do it. You're not their Lord. You're not gonna be able to fulfill and make someone completely happy. They have to put in that work for themselves. The narcissist, when they say they love you, they're feeling love through you, or feeling that they feel. It's not love because they're really not feeling it in the way that they are. The narcissist is expressing how good you make them feel about themselves. In that moment, they may be loving their situation, their status, or how safe and secure they feel. It's an internal conversation and how the relationship is benefiting them. Yeah, so they're basically, I'm going to explain it like this. The article is explaining it that way, but they're on a high because of how you making them feel. But you're not going to make them feel like that forever. Narcissists get bored really quickly. So that feeling that they feel, once they get bored, they're going to hate you. That's when they start to turn on you, start talking crazy. There's no middle ground. It's too extreme. It's an extreme, what's they call it? Limerence. that feeling of limerence versus love. You know how they always say limerence is not love? I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but it's that nostalgia, whatever that word is, like infatuation. Yeah, they're infatuated. And infatuation, that burns off. And narcissists are good for that. They're an easy, I could get a narcissist to fall in love with me in 4 weeks. All I got to do is keep telling them I love them. And I just don't have the heart to do that if I don't mean it. But it's not, what they're feeling is more of limerence and infatuation. This article's not saying that, but I'm saying that. Okay, so a transactional sentiment. The narcissist, when they say they love you, they're focused on what they can get from the relationship, whether it's sex, a facade of a family, of a happy family, is their facade, or emotional support. The moment you stop meeting the needs or meeting their needs, the love will disappear. So when they say they love you, it's a transactional sentiment. And remember, I talked about this earlier. It's better to be more reciprocal, okay, not transactional. As an aware empath, I'm reciprocal. It's a give and take, but I'm not transactional, okay? So a transactional sentiment, this is what their I love you means. The narcissist is focused on what they can get from the relationship, whether it's sex. They'll say they love you just to get that. They will. A facade of a happy family or emotional support. I'm going to add this with narcissists. You're going to be doing most of the emotional support. That's why you're going to be so stressed out. The moment you stop meeting their needs, the love will disappear. Okay, so it wasn't love in the first place. That's why it's going to disappear. They going to ghost you and never speak to you again. It wasn't love. They just was using you. So, okay, now this article says the painful cycle of narcissistic love, the intermittent reinforcement of a narcissist's affection makes their relationship incredibly difficult to leave. Oh, okay. Let me see. Who is it difficult to leave? So it's difficult for both to leave. I'm going to answer that. I should know this, right? Intermittent reinforcement is a form of discipline. You got to look it up. It's like crumbs too, you know. The narcissist is abusive, but unexpectedly once a year he buys you a name brand purse. Or the female narcissist that's abusive, unexpectedly once a year buys you a coffee. Or a air freshener for your vehicle. She buys you something real cheap. Okay, so intermittent reinforcement, you don't know when the gift is going to come, but it's not that often. This is not somebody that's usually consistently doing things for you on a weekly or monthly basis. It's very intermittent. It's a form of breadcrumbing usually. So they're abusive, but every blue moon they do something nice. That's intermittent reinforcement. Kidnappers do it to their kidnapping victims. A lot of times kidnapping victims can go out of a window or door when the narcissist is at work, but the kidnapping victim is waiting on that cookie that the kidnapper is going to bring home to them. Even though the kidnapper's raping them and beating them and sicking their dog on them, they know the kidnapper going to give them a chocolate chip cookie because it's the kidnapping day is Thursday. So the kidnapping victim, and they have a name for this when the kidnapping victim won't run away or leave. So the kidnapping victim basically is waiting on that intermittent reinforcement and won't even go and leave in the police station across the street. Intermittent reinforcement is definitely abusive. And when I mentioned my grandmother's situation when her restaurant closed, my grandmother did not do this neither. She wasn't telling me she loved me, and she also was not doing intermittent reinforcement. That means buying things or trying to manipulate myself or her great granddaughter. She wasn't doing this stuff. And I'm glad she didn't do it. She made it clear. Almost like it was like what she was saying was she didn't want to be a grandmother anymore. Her ignoring us and basically almost leaving us for dead upstairs in the house part, that was her way of saying, I don't want to be a grandma no more. I need to grieve over my baby I'm losing, which is her restaurant. That's the baby. And that's the way it felt and that's the way it was. But my grandmother was not doing this intermittent reinforcement. I've had this done. I would say my ex narcissist, my aware ex narcissist, he was an aware narcissist, because that's why he said, hell yeah, I'm a narcissist. Goddamn right. I'm voting for Trump too. Goddamn right. So he was an aware narcissist. So I would say this intermittent reinforcement is something he tried with me. And the reason it was probably intermittent reinforcement, because we're a lot of times on and off, in contact, not in contact. He's hoovering. It's back and forth, push and pull. So there's some form of intermittent reinforcement, but I was able to shut that down. So I shut that down by not contacting you at all, not taking your calls, and if I need to, blocking you. So that's how I deal with that. So intermittent reinforcement, especially as a form of discipline, and a narcissist is doing it, it will be abusive. And I'm going to specify that the last days of my grandmother's restaurant being closed, she was not doing this tactic. So there's no lying and saying she loves us, and there's also no intermittent reinforcement. It's just pure brutal neglect, acting like you're a piece of furniture and you don't exist, which is very dangerous to do that to kids. Thank the Lord I was not suicidal. If I would have been a suicidal child, I could have unalived myself and my little baby. But thank the Lord for prayer, and I don't think like that. My grandmother couldn't have handled that. If we never would have came down those back steps or front steps, and she told Mitch, go check on Snooky and Irene, and we were found unalived up there, because I unalived myself and my daughter, my grandmother would have been in the mental institution. Trust me. She could not have handled losing her baby, which is her restaurant, and us. She couldn't have handled that. But I don't think like that. I'm not a person that has suicidal tendencies, and that's just not how I roll. I didn't roll like that as a kid. I don't roll like that now. I lean more towards a homicidal nature, like a protector, like if I had to put somebody down because they was trying to kill somebody in my family, break in the house and kill us, something like that. I lean towards that protective homicidal nature. I don't have any suicidal tendencies at all. It's not my part of my nature. It's not how I think. I'm a aware empath, so I am a protector. That's my nature. My nature is not to kill anyone for no reason or kill myself for any reason. That's not my nature. So it's not an emotion that I have. I don't have an emotion, and I've never had an emotion to unalive myself at all. That's not an emotion that I have. And if you have an emotion of unaliving yourself, get rid of it and just tell yourself, I'm done with that, and move on and love yourself enough. Find some good in yourself so that you don't feel like you want to unalive yourself, because it's more natural. A suicidal nature does not benefit you, but a homicidal nature does. I'm not encouraging you to go kill anybody, but if you had to unalive somebody, some crazy weirdo that comes in your door to unalive you, you're protecting yourself and your family. So a homicidal nature, to use this as needed, is much more beneficial than a suicidal nature. Suicidal nature, you're just hurting other people that love you. It's no benefit of it at all, unless it's to stop your abuse. Now, if you're like a prisoner of war, I'm not condoning this, but if I gotta unalive myself to stop them from coming and pulling my teeth out without pain medication, this is stuff they do to prisoners of war, y'all. Prisoner of war victims. So prisoner of war victims, the military people that be getting kidnapped, and the civilians that get kidnapped and made prisoner of war, they torture them. They make them lose weight. They'll make you get down to like 60 pounds and just be pulling your teeth out without medication. They do them like that, y'all. Prisoners of wars are done real bad. And they'll make it where you can't even unalive yourself. They'll strap you to all kind of weird beds, and it be doctors helping do this stuff. The prisoner of war, the people that support the torture, that person they bring in there to pull your teeth out without you having pain medication, they have doctors and stuff doing that shit to you. He have on his doctor clothes and everything. Prisoner of wars, prisoner of war victims, there's all kind of officials that help them get tortured. The police, doctors, community leaders, all kind of demonic people do horrible things to prisoner of war victims. Those are victims that are taken in wars, and they take them and torture them. Yeah. They take people from their enemy side. You know, who's ever fighting them, they go take those people and hurt them. Real bad. It's horrible. So the intermittent reinforcement of a narcissist's affection makes their relationships incredibly difficult to leave. So it's difficult for the narcissist to leave because the narcissist want to keep power over you. And then this says the partner, and I'm saying that, I'm adding that. And then it says the partner clings to the positive moments and the words of love, ignoring the consistent patterns of abuse and neglect. So the victim ignores the patterns. This confusion creates a trauma bond, convincing the victim that the real truth lies in the loving words rather than the destructive actions. Yeah, so this is the painful cycle of narcissistic love. And because my grandmother at the end when her restaurant closed, because she did not do intermittent reinforcement, I was not so much trauma bonded in the way the trauma bond could have got worse. And I did not continue in the cycle or wheel of misery and abuse. Because she wasn't lying to me. She did what she did, but she ain't painting it like, I love you, girl. My grandmother was a Capricorn. She's not fake like that. So that part I can appreciate about her. Capricorns, it's an earth sign, and earth signs normally present as what they are. They ain't faking it. Any earth sign is going to be real straight up. Any earth sign I've ever interacted with, they're pretty straight up with you. So yeah, so that's what the article said, and those are my that's my commentary on this article and my perspective and opinions. So I thought that this was a very excellent overview This was an article that came up on AI. So it was an AI overview from a Google that I did. And so I thought that this article was excellent if I added to it. So I love yous. If they ain't in your home, y'all, I'm gonna give you some red flags. Okay, what I love yous that are red flags for me. Okay, when someone's saying I love you a lot and they don't live with me, that's a red flag. They're saying it a lot, but I haven't seen them lately. Okay, that would be number 2. They're saying I love you, but ghosting you, using silent treatments, and they're on and off. They're saying I love you, but they're name calling. They're saying I love you, but they're gaslighting. This is the 5th sign. They're saying I love you, and you feel funny about it. You really don't want to say it back, but you are someone that does say it back. So that would be number 6. Because as an aware empath, I'm comfortable saying I love you. So if I become uncomfortable, that's a red flag. So that would be number 6. Number 7, if you tell them they did something that you didn't like, they make an excuse and they apologize, but then they'll come back and say they didn't do anything. But then they offset it with I love you. That would be number 7. They're manipulating you. Number 8, they live a double life. They're saying they love you, but little do you know, they're getting ready to pay a prostitute to do a nasty act to them. They love you, but they got some kind of vice. Number 8, people that do this type of stuff, they gamble, they use drugs, they have some of these vices. If a person has a vice, this is a word many years ago my ex-boyfriend used to use, a vice. They got a vice. It's whatever their addiction is. So number 8, this would be number 8. They have a vice, gambling, drugs. They on the down low, so they are homosexual and they're not telling you. They could be a drug dealer and not disclosing it, a pimp. You never know what kind of things people are into, but they into prostitution. They're on the dark web. They're a rapist. Okay. They're Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer, what is he doing? Bringing guys over, unaliving them, having them for dinner, unfortunately, driving the victim's family crazy once it all comes out what he's doing, driving his own father crazy, but they saying I love you. People that have vices. In Islam, they would call it haram stuff, doing drugs, gambling. They buy from prostitutes, right? You know, stuff like that. People, somebody that's saying I love you, they ain't in no church or masjid. They don't even come here. You know, I speak a lot about the Lord here. So you're getting some form of ministry when you come here. Someone that's not being ministered to, that's not allowing themselves to be ministered to. That would be number 9. Someone that does not have a connection with ministry, and I'm talking about actively showing up for religious events, coming here online. I have a very small ministry channel that I do on the side sometimes, but they're not getting their spiritual needs fulfilled, but they're saying they love you. They don't love you. This person got too many vices and they're not tapped into their spirituality. And in these cases, this could be a religious narcissist. They're using their religion to abuse you. Okay, so this would be a religious narcissist. Number 10, they just saying it too much and they don't live in your house. If that's your thing, if you got a healthy household and everybody just say they love each other once or twice a day, fine. That's if everyone is treating everyone fine. But number 10, the last thing I'm going to name is they ain't around you. They don't even know you well enough to love you in the way that they saying it. Oh, and I'm going to add number 11 for a bonus. They don't love you like they saying, because the only spirit that can provide that love for you comes from the one most high in heaven. And through his son, Jesus, or Yeshua, and all the prophets. That's where the true love comes from. Ain't that right, Daniel? I'm going to do that before midnight.
What do you mean?
I'm
do it online?
Yeah, do it online. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Rent is due, y'all, by the 5th. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, he reminded me to pay the rent. That way I don't have a late fee. Oh, the rent's so expensive now. Over $2,000, y'all. Pray for us. But hey, we gonna pay it. But the rent is high. Almost $2,500, y'all. But the Lord is making a way. Thank you so much, Daniel. You got to be a team. Oh, another thing. Number 12. People don't love you when they rely on you to do everything. And they think your memory perfect. See how Daniel reminded me about the rent? Some narcissists, they will rely on you. You got to be your brain for you and they brain for them. They will rely on you to think for them, to cook for them, to take the garbage out, to work, and they will contribute nothing. And you see how Daniel reminded me about the rent? I'm teaching my family. Like when they be seeing I'm forgetting stuff, hey, why don't you remind me? I shouldn't be the only one initiating prayer, remembering the rent, and working to make the rent money. I should not be the only one that is contributing. You want it to be a team, a true team. And so that would be number 12. A narcissist cannot love you when they rely on you to do everything, and they breadcrumbing you too. Make that number 13. When a narcissist, when you offering a narcissist a bunch of stuff and they just offering you like kibbles and bits, you just bought them a whole house. Here's a Dollar Tree item. That's all they offering you. But you just bought them a house. You like, golly geez, you couldn't have went to Walmart and bought me some wall art? Jesus, I mean, I just bought you a house, dog. You can't give me nothing better than this? Yeah, so they're breadcrumbing you would be another one. Let me see, that was 13. Number 14, nobody loves you that gets violent at your residence. 15, I'm gonna add this. I love you, and I'm gonna beat your ass when you come in town, or I better not find you. They don't love you neither. Those two things will never mix. Never forget a threat. Especially from full-grown adults, y'all. They over 25 still doing this shit. You know, so yeah, so basically those would be the things I would name. Make sure you check the description box. Thank you, Daniel. And I needed that help, y'all. Sometimes I forget. I pay the rent online, but y'all, I forget. I sure do. I be so happy when I forget, because our rent's due, you know, on until the 5th. That makes a big difference too, but I forget sometimes, y'all. So let me see. I will be in the description below. I will be posting the live about the elderly abuse. I will be posting the reaction short that I did in the beginning. And I will be trying to find the video of this husband that brutally shot his wife right on camera. And then look up the duck boat incident where the black lady lost her husband and kids, and other family members died as well. I'm just talking about that particular lady's immediate family. It was a bunch of relatives on the duck boat. And whoever it was that helped them enter the boat, whoever the captain or whoever the assistant captain, whoever that was, told them that they did not need life jackets. And he should not have did that. That was real bad. And then for Brantley Harden, I'm going to be creating a Brantley Harden playlist on my channel. And I'm going to be supporting my second YouTube son. Okay. So that pretty much is it. And I gave you a list of things of when not to believe the I love you and it's shady. And I'm going to end it here. Stop believing that you have to say it back. Okay? You don't have to say it back. If you're face to face and you feel fear, and just say it back. If you're in the narcissist's face and you feel intimidated when they say I love you, it's not worth getting killed over just because you don't say I love you. But if they were not in your house, they don't know where you live, and you're on the phone, you can say it. And if you're in person and you don't say it back, just walk away right quick. Just flee the scene like you didn't hear it. But if you're being manipulated with the I love you, you're most likely already somewhat ensnared. Okay, so you are in the beginning stages of ensnarement when the narcissist is doing this behavior. So a lot of people, I don't even give them that opportunity in the first place to even be saying it. So yeah, so you've basically been ensnared is what's happening. So the I love yous, yeah, just it's manipulation, y'all. You'll know when it's real. I gave you 15 things to help you with how to navigate through that. I love y'all. Thanks for coming here. I encourage you to show people you love them more than you tell them. That would be my best advice. If you're so busy saying it like an advertisement or a campaign, sometimes people you ain't talked to in a long time, especially like when people pass away, they'll say they love you and they'll never talk to you again. That's just their way of saying goodbye, and they have fond memories of you. In those cases, just say I love you, and then y'all both said goodbye to one another, because a lot of times you won't actually have an opportunity to attend people's funerals. So just tell them you love them and move on. But the red flag is when someone's constantly saying it. And the benefit of it is if you have self-control and you can stop saying this crap back, they'll leave you alone because they know they don't love you. That's the funny thing. People that's saying it know they don't love you, especially an aware narcissist. Aware narcissists are better because they're going to stop saying it. Unaware narcissists, they will keep saying it because they want to gain power and control because they have not accepted that they are a narcissist. But an aware narcissist will eventually slow it down or stop saying it at all. They'll throw a I love you in once a year to try to gain the control back of you. But an aware narcissist, they'll give up eventually. And an unaware narcissist will give up too eventually with that manipulation if you don't feed it. You don't want to feed the spirit. You want to feed the spirit of genuine love, not abuse. And like I said in the beginning, The main sign to know someone does not love you is when they're attempting to take power and control in an area that they have no right to. Okay? And so, not right now. So it's clear that they don't love you. Okay, Daniel's asking to go to the store. Daniel think we millionaires, y'all. This man want to go to the store like every day, like we are a millionaire, a billionaire. This man need to make about 10,000 a month, because to go to the store every day, you need to be making a lot of money that we just ain't making right now, y'all. But I like his energy. I like Daniel's energy of wanting to get out. He's been out. He went to religious events today, and yeah, so he went out, but he loves the store. But I'm looking at the store like every time I go, I'm paying something, right? But teenagers, they ain't looking at that. Not yet, anyway. When they get older, they will. He'll be grateful later. Like, my mom took me to the store quite often, but I don't like to go to the store every day, y'all, because I know that it's gonna cost money. And every I like fresh vegetables and stuff, y'all. So every 2 days, I think is best. But every day, I don't know. But Daniel's back home and he likes it every day. But I understand you can't afford every day. But, you know, kids, they think parents can afford more than they can. So anyway, y'all, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning into this live. And whatever part of the live you didn't watch, thank you so much for the new subscriber. And thank you so much for the likes. And thank everyone that tuned in. Yep, I appreciate you. I truly do. Getting up to date on these comments. Yeah, and I appreciate the participation in the chat too. For me to be a small channel, people have been participating really well. So again, please like, share, and subscribe. And I love y'all so, so much. Thank you. Bye. Let me see. I'm going to find a little music for you. Hold on, hold on. Again, please like, share, and subscribe, y'all.
One of the most overpriced things
no! Music is not overpriced. I'm learning how to navigate this music in between these. No, it's not overpriced. Goodness. I'm learning, y'all. I'm new at these lives. I've been doing my lives over a couple of months, so I'm learning. I'm not perfect here. So I apologize for that. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.